Welcome to the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and I, Steve King. We are live, of course, with the WMMA Today podcast. We have quite a bit to talk about. We have a bunch of news, some recaps, and then we got fights this coming weekend. So let's start with the PFL 4 recap, where Clarissa Shields looked pretty good. kind of.
Mixed bag.
Yeah. But I mean, she pulled off some shit, dude, where she should have been finished, right? Like,
oh yeah, that armbar. If there was anybody else, would have got that. She really got lucky that Brittany Elkin was her opponent, and somehow got exhausted.
Belt. She's a brown belt too, though.
Yeah,
against a white belt. She's no belt.
Right.
So it's pretty wild, dude. I thought it was pretty crazy that Elkin didn't finish Shields. She had ample opportunity, just didn't happen, and Shields ended up finishing her in the third round.
Yeah, very, very interesting roller coaster ride a bit. And in the first like minute and a half, maybe full 2 minutes, Brittany was playing on the feet a little bit. I was like, you're already being stupid. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, but 4-ounce gloves with Clarissa Shields and her speed. She's gonna get, once she gets better, she's going to knock girls out. Like, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, obviously though, like, this is not really saying anything profound or anything that we didn't know going in, but she's clearly got to work on all sorts of grappling defense.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. Like, we knew that, though. We knew that was going to happen with Shields. She didn't have any experience with grappling, or she was a stand-up fighter. She's a boxer. So this fight really was good for her. It was a huge learning experience for her.
Yeah, it certainly was. And still the first fight and all that, but it's like another one of those things where I feel like we mention it every time with the PFL now, but people gotta pump the brakes, man. Like, yes, she definitely has potential, but you can't really say she's going to go far yet, I think, considering that the goal right at this exact moment is the Kayla Harrison fight, which it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter whatsoever. You can't tell me anything else. We know how that fight goes. How that fight goes.
Well, Kayla Harrison is actually pretty good at MMA, whereas Clarissa Shields only has one fight. If it was a boxing match, of course Clarissa Shields would beat Kayla Harrison, right? But it's MMA.
Yeah, right.
Clarissa Shields, if Kayla Harrison got on top of Clarissa Shields, she would finish. Brittany Elkin isn't a very good fighter to begin with. She's like decent. She shouldn't have lost this fight.
Yeah. And I mean, I think decent is being generous. She was 3-6, but a lot of experience to take on somebody, a lot of experience for somebody making their debut,
dude. Right. Like, this, when we say there's levels to the belts, she's a brown belt. She didn't look like a brown belt at all.
Yeah.
Brown belt.
Yeah. Especially when you look at the matchup, right?
Yeah. I mean, Shields has no experience. Wild. Yeah. Wild. So we have a lot of people in the chat already. Welcome, James. Hello. Hey, Rain. Head Kick Audio. Steve, what is up? You haven't been here for a while, my boy. Ghost Phantom. Shields had an opportunity to armbar her and take her back for an RNC. She did, and I mean, again, that was her first fight, so she didn't really know how to finish. But then she did know how to finish at the very end, right? So, I mean, it's like just a huge learning experience for her, I think. She's going to be better in her next fight.
Yeah.
Hoping that they don't put her in there with a grappler, though. They need to put her in there with a striker. Because
I couldn't help but think
with a grappler, any other decent grappler will finish Clarissa Shields because there's no experience for her.
Yep, indeed.
Yusuf says Shields' hands were fast. Want to see more? Yeah, I mean she's a great boxer, so yeah, I'm not surprised. This is what I was saying last week. Those 4-ounce gloves and her power and her speed it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be nice once she gets that whole package going. Chad Allen, welcome. She's got insane potential if she really works her grappling. Yeah, that's the thing. She really needs to. She really needs to pound on the grappling now. But I mean, she got up. Like, you know, I mean, her legs are strong as fuck. She was getting up, and like, what more can we ask from her out of a debut?
Yeah.
Rue, what's up, Kana Watanabe Army? 12 days until Kana fights. Welcome, Stamina. What the fuck is happening? Scrap Pack. Greetings to one and all. Greetings, Stamina. Yes, Jimmy. Yes. Kana Army in the house. Chuck, WMMA Army Week. Yes. And Jimmy says Kana beats Loretta. Yes. Oto, go Kana. Rain. Hashtag Kana champ. Yep.
Okay, let's pause on this one. Let's pause on that one with all the Kana comments because breaking news for you guys, and I never do this, but I told you I would. Just got Kana locked. I will be speaking with her. I just got it now, Wednesday. So bring on the questions for Kana, you guys. We'll have fun with this one. What should we talk about? I'm going to let you guys control most of this next catch up that I have with Kana. But we got her. We're going to get her before the fight. We'll be talking to Kana on Wednesday. Let me know, you guys. Hit me up. I will drop my email in here if you don't have anything right this second. But yes, a little bit of inside info for the Kana Army, you guys. So there you go. If you want to send stuff to the email, you want to throw them at me right now, just actually send them to the email because then I'll have track of them. I'll lose them in here probably. But yeah, there you go. We're doing it, you guys. You're welcome.
Nice.
So
Stamina says brown leather belt maybe for Brittany Elkin. Yeah, it was not very good. Like she's weird. Alvin, good evening, gentlemen. How are you, gentlemen, on this fine Monday evening? Doing good, Alvin. How are you? Alvin! WMAC now. Chuck Shields bragging about ignoring her coaches shows a weakness. Ego. She's always had an ego. She's very high on herself, and that will be a major problem if she continues to do that once she gets better competition. She cannot do that against better competition. But she's always had an ego. She's very high on herself. She's not the most likable person as far as like her personality and stuff. I like her. Asshole fighters aren't a problem for me. I
think it's just a lot for somebody who just got into MMA. You know, like that was her first fight. Like
I agree with that. But I mean, she is coming from Olympic gold medals and boxing championships and stuff. She's got herself an ego. She does, and I mean, it's fine. Like, it's fine. I think.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. So
Makoto says he's going to flood your email with questions. Ghost Phantom, Shields should just go the Joanna way, train takedown defense and submission defense, so girls are afraid to shoot. I agree with that. Yep, I agree with you, Ghost Phantom.
All right. Let's move it along there. Everyone's going to flood the emails. That's what I expect. That's what I want. Bring it on, you guys. Have fun with this one. Kana time. I will let her know about the Army. She deserves to know if she does it already.
For sure.
Making some noise.
She should know that people really love her.
I mean, man, she's blown up a lot. Did I tell you about the GIF, the frying pan GIF?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, don't say that right here. I'm going to mention that to her in the conversation as well, and then you guys can hear about it. But it just kind of goes to show a little bit. She is popping right now since going to Bellator. And speaking of Bellator, perfect segue. Bellator 260 also took place this weekend. Whole lot of fights, as you guys know, happened over the weekend. But I don't know if we'll even talk about this one because Steve, did you see it? I was obviously very busy with fight week, and then I watched the Phoenix tournament instead of Bellator, so I actually saw none of the Bellator card. But yeah, all right. In that case,
I know that Lima lost though. Oof.
Yes, I need to see that still. Shut out, right? He got shut out. So
I guess I didn't watch. I was like you. I was watching the Phoenix tournament.
Yeah,
which is much more important to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lima losing is big.
26-0. They have their own Habib over there. Like, crazy, dude.
Right? Their Bellator is probably like, hell yeah, this is great.
In terms of marketing that way, I mean, geez. So yeah. But Marina Mocnatina got it done with a shutout of her own. We didn't see it coming that way. How about that? So I guess Amanda Bell did Amanda Bell things. We don't know. We'll have to still rewatch this one. Got to find some time for it. But yeah, how about that? Honestly, probably the better outcome. Nothing against Amanda Bell, but she's been around for a while now. Let's get some new blood in there. So
I agree with that 100%. I mean, there's nothing wrong with new people doing well in the 145 division. So this is interesting. Suki Lou, hi, I just got into MMA and was referred to this podcast from Instagram. I look forward to learning about MMA. Welcome. That's awesome. We love that you're here. And this is, I guess, probably your first podcast and watching us.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, welcome. We have a lot of people that comment and stuff during the shows. We go on I don't know where you are, but our time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays. Welcome.
Man, what was the reference to? Very curious about that. So would love to know, but very cool. Glad you're here. Always a fun time. Very friendly people here. We've never had any animosity, which is always fun.
No.
At least between each other. We get heated about certain topics, of course, but that's you'll find out what those are in time. So maybe today. We'll see what happens. But yep. All right. So we just mentioned it right there. The Invicta Atomweight Phoenix tournament. Oh boy. How about it, Steve? I did miss the beginning of this, so you have to fill me in there, but I did catch the second half. Because what was that day? It was Friday? So I was coming back from the weigh-ins. But yes, we got the finals that we expected. So it ultimately played out how we thought.
Right.
But,
I mean, we knew. Lindsey Van Zandt, Jessica Delboni, those were the two.
Right. And Lindsay, man, woo!
She came out fire, man.
Yeah, she did.
But Delboni's damn good. I mean, you thought that she beat Alicia Zapatello, so I mean, she should. In your eyes, she should be the champion right now.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, not really surprised by Delboni doing well in this tournament.
Yes. Yeah. But so I missed her first fight. How was that against Watkins? Pretty dominant, I imagine. Or
I mean, it's one round and Delboni did. Delboni was the aggressor. She did very well. Um,
I saw the replay the submission for Lindsay.
yeah.
And then Jillian DeCourcy, though, that was I didn't see that one coming. How did that fight go?
I had Jillian winning that fight.
Okay.
I did have Jillian winning that fight. She had a takedown, and in one round fight, a takedown could be the game changer for one round.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that. I thought Jillian won.
Damn. That's even more of a bummer because, if she was going to lose, at least maybe there wouldn't be controversy about it. That kind of sucks. So it's just how it goes, I guess. And Granados also lost, which I didn't quite expect that in the first round anyway, depending who she was matched with. But
Valencia looked really good though.
Okay.
Granados didn't. She was slow and kind of throwing awkwardly, and it wasn't a good fight for her at all. A split decision, I guess. I mean, I didn't see Granados winning that fight.
Okay. Interesting. And then for the alternate bout, I had
didn't
this
see
one
that fight.
Yeah, I had this on in the background because this was right when I got back to my place. So Stefan Vislovsky, which that one came together very late. I remember they weren't even originally supposed to be on the card, but then from here on out, of course, saw the rest, which was the semifinals and finals. Lindsay beating Mihalik, looked fantastic in that one.
Great. She looked great all the way through, all the way up until the fight against Delboni.
I mean, I don't think she looked bad in the Delboni rematch either because they did fight before. But it was just kind of Delboni, just such a dictator of the pace, and Lindsay couldn't get her back off against the cage.
Right.
That was the big issue, I think, was just she got stuck kind of pressured. And I feel like she did, I don't think there's a case for her winning really, but I think she won a round. At least I don't remember what the final cards were here. It doesn't say, but I thought she didn't look bad essentially. She still did very well.
She didn't look bad. But I do think that Delboni was better, and she won the fight.
Right. And man, she did the perfect promo at the end.
Did.
That was perfect.
She definitely did. Yeah, she's a good one, man. I hate that she's gonna fight Zapatella again because that's bad for Zapatella because she's so good. I don't want Zapatella to lose, obviously, but Delboni is really, really good.
This story of this entire run for Delboni is just insane to me. The fact that I said it last week. The fact she even had to go through this, but the fact that she did now go through it and win it convincingly.
Yeah,
and it's gonna get to rematch Zapatella, who she arguably already beat. It's just such a ridiculous thing that this happened this way, but it was fun, and that's some serious confidence for her to build on top of a fight that she already believes she won herself. It's gonna be a exciting rematch. I think this just helps that kind of bring the eyeballs in. This is actually probably good for the start of this Invicta era, actually, if you think about it from a business side of things, right? Because now there's a great story for people who maybe are new to Invicta to invest in and be like, oh, wow, she should have won that first fight. It was a really good, 5-rounder. And wait, she just beat 3 chicks in one night, and now they're going to fight again? It actually, for Invicta, in terms of the story and business, like I said, I think that kind of helps actually. But for Delboni, man, crazy for her, right?
Yeah, she's on a wave right now, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so it seems like from looking at the comments here that everybody kind of recommended Suki. So that's fine. That's fine, you guys. I was curious, but glad that you guys are sharing the love as well.
Yeah, so. It's nice. It's nice that people are talking about the show.
Right. Indeed. So,
and new people are coming in because of that.
Yes. So.
And then Ghost Random asks,
It's coming up right next, buddy.
you guys are going to talk about Icon 7, more specifically Ramona Pasquale hitting a tie sweep, defending a footlock, and finishing with an Americana. Yep.
So
that was pretty fucking amazing.
There we are. Icon 7. It is. Ramona gets it done in like around 3 minutes, Ghost. I haven't actually got to watch this one yet. I did see the finish. She was pounding her out. It's really nice. Very curious to see this tie sweep now that you mentioned, but
it was awesome.
Yeah, Ramona did what Ramona does. Good for her. Excited to see her hopefully turn around quick as she wants to get right back in there. And
she wants to fight like every freaking week.
Yeah. And we'll see what she can do in that regard. Actually, another spoiler. I'll just say it. I'm gonna catch up with Ramona tomorrow as well. So, questions for her. I guess why not throw them along? But looking forward to that. But also, Steve, how about your girl Amanda Serrano with a standing guillotine, which
it was beautiful, phenomenal. This is
in less than a minute.
All right. So this is a boxer, a 7-division women's championship boxer doing standing guillotines on girls who have.
Take notes, Clarissa.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And they're friends. So it's like Clarissa needs to talk to Amanda Serrano about what the hell she's doing and go roll with her or something. They're obviously not in the same division. Clarissa's much bigger than Amanda. But, man, Amanda Serrano is legit, dude. Legit.
Yeah, that was definitely not the way I expected this fight to end.
She did a whole walk-off, dude. Like, she knew. She knew she had her, and she was choking the shit out of her, and then she just dropped her and walked out.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I do want to say that this seemed like very poor defense from Valentina Garcia here. She,
yes,
that
too.
played a little bit of a part, but I mean, it was still impressive for a boxer.
Let's not talk about that. I mean, Amanda Serrano is amazing.
I mean, it's still a great way to win for her. I mean, didn't look like she took any damage at all. Somebody who turned right around as well. Why not?
Yeah.
There you go. And stamina. Look at him. He's coming out of this shell a little bit.
he's a Serrano cheerleader, but the chick she fought was a debutante and about 19 years old. I can't get too wild about this one. Yeah, but it's nice seeing Amanda Serrano do well in MMA.
And not in the striking element, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, her fights, she's going to the ground. She's like legitimately doing things when it comes to like grappling and submissions and stuff like that. She's not just using her hands.
Right.
Chuck says, problem with Serrano's MMA career is her progressive opponents have gotten worse, less experience. She's also an icon. She went from Combate to icon. Icon's not up there with Combate.
I wonder, do you think she'd go back at it, like maybe next, or who knows about that? They on good terms? Don't know. You don't got the scoops there?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can ask her. She'll tell me. She told me about something else too, but
that's secret.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I can ask her, I guess. I don't know what's going on with Combate. I can also ask Campbell, I guess.
Very true.
I mean, he's pretty open about things. He's been open to me about things. So, huh?
Yeah, two sides to the story, but
yep, absolutely.
Yes, Makoto, I was already ahead of you on that one. That was something that I was already going to ask her because, yeah.
Why wouldn't she though? You know, like she's doing pretty well.
No, indeed.
145.
Stamina there.
The Combate thing seemed acrimonious, but she never really aired it all out online. She didn't. And I I mean, I can ask her and try to get an answer. And then Stamina said both her MMA wins are by sub. Yep, they are. So I think, like, if we're gonna go boxing champion versus boxing champion, Amanda Serrano is the better MMA fighter at this moment than Clarissa Shields.
Right. And I mean, I know that you think that Serrano's maybe the best female boxer ever too, right? So
I think Clarissa Shields is the best female
okay.
boxer ever. I think that Amanda Serrano's number 2.
I mean, Serrano's got a lot bigger of a career. But I don't know. I don't know nothing.
She's not an Olympic boxer, though. Clarissa Shields has a shit ton of wins in the amateur ranks.
Right.
And she's the only two-time gold medal boxing champion, men or women.
Yeah. So pretty impressive. Impressive.
Well, yeah, dude. It's impressive. The Olympics are what boxers shoot for as amateurs.
Yeah.
And she did it twice. Chuck says it seemed like Serrano was trying to play Combate and Matchroom against each other to get more money for a Katie Taylor fight. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things. There was a lot of shit talk out there between a lot of different people. So I don't want to put words in Amanda Serrano's mouth. I would rather get an answer from her.
Totally fair. One more from Stamina here.
Serrano has been doing MMA longer, and folks don't speak that highly of Shields' opposition. That whole bigger woman syndrome that plagues MMA too. Yeah.
And it does.
Yep. Dude, Clarissa looked big. 155.
Did she normally fight at that in boxing?
Mm-hmm. She's a big girl.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is Icon 7, everybody. And don't worry, was that Jimmy who's calling himself a casual, or was that James? That's not to call Jimmy a casual. Apologies. James says his casual tendencies only led him to seeing UFC 263 this week. But that's all right, buddy, because so did we. I was there on the spot. Let's kick things off with the flyweight contender bout.
Yeah. Lauren Murphy beat Joanne Calderwood. Split decision. I didn't really have it a split decision. I had it going to Lauren Murphy, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was very close. I thought the
third round, right?
Yeah, the third round definitely, and the second round clearly wasn't close. That was the most dominant round for either fighter. Some people went as far to say 10-8 for Murphy. I mean, she had 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Didn't realize it was that much time.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, I don't know. I think somebody was back talking to us a little bit when that happened. So I don't know what, I was still watching it, but I didn't feel that. And then a big difference here for JoJo in terms of, was this total strikes? Yeah. So it was close. It was definitely closer than I expected it to be, but I did feel Lauren edged out and just had the better of the shots, despite these numbers, which aren't always the most trustworthy, but we still got to look at them a little bit. So yeah, she gets it done 5 in a row. There's just simply no denying that she gets the title shot next, unless they
wrong.
Unless they want to give it to Nunes or go make that,
Look what Jimmy says.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Dana's response after the fight. I guess he's making Nunes and Shevchenko 3, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with it. I've been on that shit for a long time now.
We'll see what happens, but man, it's a bummer for JoJo though. Like what happens with her now? Just can't get over it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, she blew her chance. Like I told you last week, she's never gonna see her get to that level again. She had it, she blew it, and she lost to Jennifer Maia. She should have just waited that fight out for Shevchenko.
Yep, indeed. Here's Yusuf with a fantastic comment.
Yep. If Murphy beats Valentina, you guys won't see me again. I don't think that you have to worry about that, Yusuf, because they're not even going to fight. I really don't think that the UFC wants to put Lauren Murphy in a title fight. I really don't think that they do. I mean, sure, they put Jessica in a title fight. I guess they would put Lauren Murphy in one too, but I don't think they like Lauren Murphy that much.
I mean, yeah, Dana didn't even commit to it afterward.
At all.
Gosh. Like you know, typically when we have that kind of idea, he's at least like, you guys know I don't make, I'm not going to make anything right here. But he's, in this case, he was just kind of like, I don't know, we'll see. Just, which is worse than him doing the typical kind of response. Yeah, but Stamina here making fun of you.
Oh, Steve, pet hate that I didn't have it as a split decision does not compute as a logical sentence. Okay.
Zing. Yeah, fair enough, Rain. Team Ramona, she is awesome. Excited to talk to her again. Let's see what is next.
Ghost Phantom, did you guys think that the second round should have been a 10-8 for Murphy? Because I had it 1 for JoJo, 2 for Murphy, and 3 for JoJo. The 10-8 would have been okay, I think, because she was pretty dominant. And
yeah.
I mean, that's what a 10-8 round looks like, I think.
Especially with the new rules. Like old rules, I don't think that's a 10-8.
For sure, with the new rules, yes.
Yeah, she didn't have the damage, I don't think, but she definitely had the domination and the duration, she's
dominant for the entire round.
Yeah.
So what did you say? How much time in the
4:15? 4:15.
I mean, that's the whole round, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was an interesting one. I'll have to go and rewatch that round, but yeah, I'm surprised that actually no judges did give it a 10-8, maybe because of that lack of damage, obviously, but I
think so.
Significant damage, maybe, but yeah, I think that there are cases there, like you said, Ghost, for that JoJo third round, because I think I had her win in the first round as well. That seemed pretty comfortable about that, but yeah, it was an interesting one. So
yeah, and again, that's probably why Lauren Murphy will not get a title shot. And, Dana White sits right there at cage side, so he sees everything that's going on, and he probably wasn't impressed with Lauren Murphy, really.
Yeah,
it was a fun fight. It didn't make Lauren Murphy look any better.
But who else? 5 in a row, Steve.
No, I mean, I get it, and I've been right there alongside with you for Lauren Murphy. I've been right there with you. We're basically holding hands with that shit. But I just don't think that the UFC is going to do it. I don't think that they like her, dude. I don't think that they like her.
I think definitely what you're saying is fair, but like then at the same time it is literally like, okay, then who do they give it to? Like at this point, who else can you justify?
It's got to be Nunes. It's got to be Nunes.
So then right at flyweight, you're saying no one else you could do.
They're done. Both. I've been saying this. Both champions, they're done. They've ran through those divisions. They're done. Just fight each other. Give us that third fight. Fuck it.
Well, let's see. We got Nunes and Pena is in August, so.
And then another one, Pena. Really, Juliana Pena. Like, I mean, this is fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, that one is very, very silly. We got to be close, I think, to that trilogy. We got to be. I don't know if it's the end of this year or next year, but it feels like it's got to be one of them, right?
It's when Nunes is ready at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. So,
Yeah.
all right. But before that, we saw another winning streak continue, and at that Nunes division, Steve, Bonsai continues on.
Yeah, Pani Kianzad beat Alexis Davis by unanimous decision. That was a fun fight, man. It was a really fun
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, a lot.
Were you able to see that one?
Yes, yeah. A lot more competitive than I thought. Like Alexis Davis
Right.
looked
She
a
looked
lot
good.
better.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, because of the fact that she really didn't she attempted one takedown. Yeah, one the whole fight. Like, if you want to really try and secure that win, so kind of poor fight IQ by her a little bit, for a veteran, which is very surprising. But and then for Pani, like, straight up boxing pretty much. I don't think she really threw any kicks. And somebody even asked her that afterward, like, did you throw any kicks? She's like, I don't think so. Which is kind of funny that, to ask about that. But I guess when you really notice it, you're like, yeah, she was strictly boxing here, which it worked, which is impressive, when you limit yourself that way, maybe unintentionally, however it may be. But
I do think that she was conscious about Davis's takedowns. So
right, true.
So she didn't want to put her leg out there, I feel. I mean, because then the fight would have really turned tables if Davis were to catch a leg and take her down. Davis was doing really well. So I mean, and Penny's face was all beat up. She was getting peppered by Alexis Davis.
Yeah, she has some nice bruises, afterward and whatnot. So it was definitely a fight, and a hard fought one. But yeah, she definitely, I think, ended up pulling it off. It was closer than it probably should have been, but I think that's
Drake. This is what I told you last week. Penny shouldn't have been fighting Alexis Davis.
Yes. No, I know.
This was a terrible fight for Penny Kianzad. Bad, very bad. She should be fighting up in the rankings, not an unranked fighter like Alexis Davis.
Yeah.
This is the reason why. Like, she got beat up. She won the fight, but she got beat up.
Yeah, low risk, high reward. Low reward, high risk. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah.
So Penny called out Rocky. She wants that fight with Pennington. Give it to us. I think that's the fight. Penny deserves a fight like that. Not somebody who's not ranked or lower than her. She needs to go up in the rankings. Fight up in the rankings, and Rocky's the fight. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, you could do that one. You could do Aspen Ladd doesn't have. Is she back? I don't remember if she.
Who's she fighting?
They scheduled it so far out. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, she's fighting somebody.
Is it Ketlin? Is it no? Let's see here. Macy and no, yeah.
Macy
No. That was scheduled. No. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at that though, if that is possible.
I'd be mad.
Is it Macy?
I think it is Macy, dude.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, they rescheduled that next month. Okay, all right.
I'd be mad at the Penny and Aspen Ladd fight. I don't know who I'd go for.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I would go for. Who I'm going to go for with Aspen and
Macy. So, yeah, but the Rocky fight's the one to make, and Penny even said this week that they actually were trying to make it for this fight instead. So I guess maybe that could have been the reason it led to Davis ultimately. But either way, she deserves somebody who is up there 4 in a row. She's looking better than ever. Do it. Just do it. And,
yeah.
It was funny. We're hair twins now. If you saw the interview that we did, Steve.
Yeah, you guys have the crazy hair, the sideshow bob hair.
Right. I know she pointed that out to me. I didn't even notice when she came up to me. Like, oh yeah, how about that? So, bun power. She said she sent me those messages afterward.
She's a funny one.
Yeah, she definitely is a character. Gotta love it. Toothless Panty with her little pug, Biggie.
She started crying. She got emotional with Joe Rogan. Like, she's like, put me on the show.
It's funny though, because I asked her about that because somebody was talking to us right at the end there, so I didn't hear that part. I just saw her kind of, crying and everything, and so I asked her, I was like, what happened? Why were you so emotional here? And she said that was the first time she actually got a post-fight interview in the cage. Like, wow, that's kind of fucking crazy. After your 3 wins already, once they didn't talk to you after those, like, very bizarre.
Yeah, no love for Penny, but now I think they're getting.
You have to, especially in this division.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, especially in that division where there's not a whole lot of stars there. Rue says Davis really mixed it up. Even her takedowns were to set up her strikes, but unfortunately she didn't fight a good aesthetic fight. Penny had more impact with her shots.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, like I said, Davis peppered her. I mean, dude, Penny's face was jacked.
No, indeed.
But it just it didn't look great from Alexis Davis.
Right. So that was all the action from the weekend, you guys. Whole lot. And now we move to the old mailbag, which looks like a doozy today. I didn't go super. I generally kind of like to read these on here, and so I just glance over them.
Same.
So
I just look at who sends them, and then I'm like, okay, the same normal
usual suspects.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm great. I'm great for it. I love it. So let's start with the Ghost Phantom.
Okay, so yes, Ghost Phantom actually, before he sent me one in the DMs early. He sent me one, I think, on Fight Night actually. So let me pull that up because I don't have it up already. So I'll just read it. Where is it? Okay, so Ghost Phantom asked, on Friday actually, why does the media like to predict fights from looking at pre-fight interactions? And he's highlighting the press conference with Adesanya and Vettori. Because everyone was like, oh, Vettori's totally...
Yeah, he's in Izzy's head.
Yeah.
Vittori's not that good.
He got fairly exposed this weekend.
I'm not a fan of Vettori. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's a jackass.
Well, he somehow thinks he won.
He's an idiot. Dude, he's an idiot. Come on. Izzy fucking put it on that dude. Stupid.
Something about these middleweights, Steve. Paulo, Marvin.
Paulo's a big dummy.
They should fight each other.
They should fight each other.
I think that's what he said he wants, actually.
Yeah. Do it. I would like to see them kill each other.
So I actually answered that question kind of for Ghost Phantom during my live weigh-in show. So what do you think about it? Why do people like to do that? It's like it's easy, just to look at it and be internet psychologists a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
read the emotions.
Yeah, I don't do that, so I don't really understand it, I guess. But I don't know why people do that. I don't know. Because they need something to talk about. I think they need something to grab onto.
A little bit of spice.
Yeah, they're not. Vettori just talks a lot of shit. So he was like yelling and like doing faces and like fucking.
It was very entertaining, I will say.
I guess, sure, he's entertaining, but he's annoying. Like it's just annoying to me. So I
couldn't understand really anything they were saying, but it was funny.
I knew that Izzy was gonna win. So Izzy's fucking in that division. Ain't nobody beating Izzy, dude. Ain't nobody beating him. I know Robert Whittaker could, but I don't think so. Like Izzy's fucking dominant, dude. That boy plays with people. He plays with people.
Yeah, it was really crazy kind of to watch him cage side. Because I was there for the Blachowicz fight, but I wasn't actually cage side for that one because it was, at that time in Vegas they weren't still as open as they are now, obviously. But yeah, watching him and like just his reflexes and the vision, like you mentioned, Ghost Phantom, he sees everything and moves so well.
Yeah.
It's very, very impressive. And I really wanted to ask him about that, Ghost, but fucking he was trying to get out of there, and then I just couldn't squeeze on in, which was annoying. But yeah.
Oh, so I was gonna ask you off, but I'll ask you right here. The press conference, the press conference. I saw you.
Pre-fight
Pre-fight press conference.
Okay.
I saw you down there. You were with the camera, I think.
Yes.
Dude, so I was getting really annoyed by the questions. They were terrible. They were very bad questions. I'm really getting sick of the MMA media. Like, quite honestly, I'm getting really tired of their bullshit. Their bullshit questions. You have to come up with better shit. You have to. You're on TV. These are massive fights. You got to do something better than these stupid ass questions. Like, who was that big dude with the beanie on?
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that Big Black?
Yeah. I'm not
what was he doing there? Who is that guy? He didn't know how to ask a question to Izzy or to Nate or whoever it was. I was getting really fucking annoyed by the press. I was really annoyed by them.
Yeah, there was definitely some very, very it wasn't great. It wasn't great for this week. And
you got stars up there. You have Israel Adesanya. You have Nate Diaz. You have Brendan Moreno. You have Figueredo. You have stupid Vittori. You have Leon Edwards. Like there's you can ask a million questions to these dudes with a little bit of thought process going into it. But instead you choose to ask stupid fucking questions. Is it because they're afraid that the UFC won't let their asses back in? I honestly
I brought up the healthcare thing. Did you see that?
No.
I asked Dana about the healthcare thing.
Oh, you're right. Yes, I did. What did he say about that?
He just said
he didn't give an answer.
I mean,
it was like a half-ass answer.
A little bit, yeah. But everybody. I think did we talk about it? How everyone wanted the follow-up from Farah, and I was like, I'll do it. Sure, I'll do it. And then people wanted to follow up on that too, but in that moment, I just didn't even think about it. So that's a thing. I think we talked about that on air. What was it last week? It was like, I don't know how I'm going to pursue that. I just wanted to get that out of the way for everybody. So chillax. But the some of the people, I'm going to not name names specifically because if I see them again, right?
Dude, I'm not afraid.
I know. No, you go ahead. But definitely some people that they let in recently, especially, it's not been great. It's been very confusing.
That's what I'm saying is very recently. It's been the past, I guess maybe at least the past two, but at least maybe the past 3 or 4 where these are really bad questions as far as press conference, big press conference with 6 fighters up there, a couple of champions. You got to do better.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask those Israel questions there at that moment too, but for the press conference for me and filming that, it's to make it look good, you have to be on camera and move it around. So I really couldn't find or think of a right moment to get up there and do it myself. So I was like, if I had someone else with me, I definitely could have. But
yeah,
it's just kind of tough in that situation.
You got to get me out there with you, dude. I'll do whatever you do, and you ask the questions. I'll give you the questions. I'll be like, "Look, you gotta ask questions, dude, because
I know
this is getting ridiculous. It's honestly bad." Yeah. And people are agreeing. I'm not the only one. I was on Twitter during that whole press conference and stuff, and I mean, people agree. It's not even worth watching anymore.
the ones that annoy me the most, I think, are the ones that are just like blatant ass kissing PR for Dana or like that kind of stuff, you know?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
what did I have no idea who this guy is, so I don't care about talking about him. But the guy who asked Dana about what how he feels about restoring the Constitution or some shit like that.
Dude, what was that? Exactly. What the fuck is that? What kind of nonsense is that shit?
Insanity, yeah.
Dude. Oh my god. These people are crazy. Crazy. Like why are they letting them in, to ask questions?
Well, the thing is that they like that. They like that guy. Those
Yeah.
guys doing that thing,
Yeah.
So
Agree.
but in terms of like straight up stupid ass questions and maybe unarticulate speakers, it's like, come on. Come on,
No,
man.
yeah. There were literally like 4 people asking questions where I was like, dude, oh my god, why are you even up there?
Yeah.
I mean, John Morgan, fine. Mark Raimondi, fine. Who else was there?
Jose Oscar.
Jose was there. Fine. Those guys know MMA.
Right.
The guy who was speaking to Brandon Moreno did a fantastic job with Brandon Moreno, Spanish speaker.
Right.
I don't know what outlet he was from. I don't remember what outlet he was from, but he did a phenomenal job. He was really good. But then there were other ones like that beanie wearing guy. Like, who are you? And what the fuck are you doing there? And then of course the amendment guy.
Yeah. We can talk more about this off air for sure. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. We'll see how. Boy, I'm worried now that you mentioned all this. I'm worried for next month. It's probably going to be even worse.
It's going to be terrible, terrible. At 164 or 264, I mean,
yeah,
terrible, dude. Conor McGregor brings the worst out. Conor McGregor brings the worst people.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun though.
Yeah, it'll be more fun.
It'll be fun though because of the.
In terms of casuals, though, good lord, casual media, like
oh yeah, casual media for sure. All right, so interesting. Stamina says that they'll plumb new depths, teeth grindingly bad questions, but I found this interesting, purely for themselves and not the audience media outlet. That's exactly it. I think that's what really pisses me off about it. It's more they make it about themselves and not the fighters. The fighters are there for our enjoyment, so treat them like that. They're there for us, so treat them right by asking them decent questions and not asking stupid questions where they don't even know how to answer them.
Where they're not even sure if they're questions or not.
Right. Like I saw, who did I see? Oh, I think it was Nate Diaz. He was like, he didn't know what to say because he didn't know the question. Like he didn't understand the question. Dana White is the same. He does it every press conference where he's like, "What was that? Like, can you say it again?" And then he's like, and then the second time he's like, it takes him a minute. Like those people shouldn't be there. Kick them, get them out of there. Like take their name and say, no, you're not asking any more questions.
It would save a whole lot of unneeded time. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm fine with the time. It's just about asking quality questions that actually mean something.
Right. Yeah. So I guess the lesson we can learn, you guys, is it ain't as easy as people think it is.
It's not easy. It's not easy, but you have to do your homework before getting up there in front of these people. You can't just go up there and be like, I'm going to ask a stupid question and see if they bite.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess you can, and they do, but I mean, it pisses people off. It's like, this has no substance to it. Why are you here?
Right.
Chuck says, too many sensitive fighters and sensitive promotion presidents have many media afraid to ask good questions. There's a way. I think there's a way around that, though. Like, I mean, Drake and I said it at the same time. There's ways around it.
Yeah, like I could have been a dick the way I presented that healthcare question, you know. Like I could have been like,
Yeah,
so Dana, like why did you laugh at that? You know, why did you laugh at the idea of healthcare? Like just kind of point out.
Don't you think healthcare is important for these fighters? Don't you think being paid well
just went off on them.
is very important to these fighters?
Yeah. Which definitely would have gotten a great reaction, but you know,
it would have. Yeah, but it probably would have got you fucking.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been super smart. So there are ways to do it in different forms, obviously. But
there are ways. You can't catch Dana by the balls. Like, you can't cup him, you know, and be like, here's a question for you.
But also, not to cut you off, to be fair about this exact situation with me in particular, you guys, like how I just said that right there, that wouldn't have been real though. That wouldn't have been me being genuine, because that would, like, I would have been fabricated. I didn't feel that way about it. And yes, I think that's important, of course, but like, I just try to be real. So how I ask it is how I am in that moment, right? So I wasn't pissed or anything. So
yeah.
If it was something I was like, come on, dude, then, you know, I'd be a little bit more antsy about it, I guess. But that's just me, though. So
let's do some good cop, bad cop.
There we go. Scrap back on tour. that would be pretty funny, actually.
Dude, they would hate us.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're a dick in like in a funny way. I'm a dick in a very in your face way.
Yeah. It's a good balance. So all right. Well, I think that was worthwhile discussion, but got us way off track of the mailbag. So apologies, Yusuf, and
I'm not apologizing for shit.
Right.
I think it needs to be said.
Yeah. So no, I mean, yeah, we all notice it. So I think you are right. You can't really disagree there. So, all right, starting off with Yusuf in the actual mailbag, just because this is the order of the tweets in the thread. So we'll start off here and work our way around. Probably we'll bounce back between you guys, but here's Yusuf starting things off.
All right, Lauren Murphy started MMA at 26. And that's Shields' age. Can't Shields have similar rise, especially with her elite boxing? Yeah, for sure. I think that the sky's the limit for Clarissa Shields. I've said that since she said that she wants to fight MMA. But I mean, there's all kinds of things that she needs to work on.
It just takes time, but when you think about it, Yusuf, it is interesting to compare Lauren and Shields, and theoretically, and I guess realistically, Shields should be able to rise a whole lot quicker, because the division she's fighting in isn't even really a real division, right? Like 155 right now, she's going to look great and be able to progress and do well against, you know, fighters that are not nearly as good as the competition Lauren Murphy has fought throughout her career. Like, you got to remember, Lauren Murphy ended up being Invicta bantamweight champ and fought some very legit people early on. Like,
I think people forget that Lauren Murphy has been around for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
like, before Tough, she was
right.
Even before the Tough season, she was already a seasoned veteran.
She was already in the UFC. She was in the UFC, and they still brought her on. But
that's how much they love her.
Yeah, so I mean, Shields can, definitely have. That's hilarious. Have a good rise, a good quick rise, all that kind of thing. Look fantastic and everything, but still, it does not matter how much time that she trains from now to the end of time.
Yeah.
In grappling, she's never going to be better than Kayla Harrison in grappling.
No.
I'm just gonna say it.
No, I mean, I
and
agree.
most won't be. Most will not be, right? So
No, I agree with that. I mean, Kayla Harrison is very dominant, so it's gonna be really hard to be that good for Clarissa Shields. But I mean, can she do it? Yeah, she can, and I think she has the motivation. The thing that bothers me about Clarissa kind of is that she wants to bounce back and forth between boxing and MMA, and I understand why she would want to do that. Is it the best thing for her MMA career? I don't think so.
no, you gotta focus 100% on this. And I mean that showed in the debut fight. She's only been training since December, like
Right.
So there's no way around that, I don't think. But then he goes on to ask who will be number one contender at flyweight while Murphy fights for the title. Presumably, right? Let's throw that in there.
Fight.
But honestly, as we touched on it a little bit earlier, right? Now that when he throws it out there, the only other option you could go with is Alexa Grasso, and that's too soon still.
Yep.
She needs
too soon for all of them. Calvillo not ready. Grasso not ready. JoJo not ready. Roxy not ready. Or Roxy, she's freaking in the twilight of her career.
Right.
And she's still not ready for Valentina Shevchenko. Like Valentina Shevchenko is just a different type of beast. She's one of the best female fighters that we will ever see.
She's one of the best fighters, period, that we'll ever see.
Right. That's very true. I mean, it's just nobody's ready for her. Just like nobody's ready for Amanda Nunes. And that's why they should fight each other.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, Grasso is the closest thing after Murphy right now. I mean, I'm not going to count Chukagian just because she already fought her, right? I mean, technically, I guess she'd be the one there, but if you're going to talk about
who the fuck wants to see that again? Like, nobody wants to see that shit.
Do you think that they'll make Grasso and Chukagian next? Because everyone else is like, doesn't quite make sense for Grasso, do they? Calvillo was the one, but we'll get to that. Let's not go there.
I would assume that.
Give that fast bump to Chukagian.
Grasso and Chukagian.
Or you could do JoJo, I guess.
That would be a really fun fight.
Yeah.
Grasso and JoJo would be fun, but JoJo's not really the stepping stone like what she used to be. What she was just a few months ago.
No. If she fights JoJo, beats her, then she'll need to win one more after. But if she was to like take on Chukagian next, that's enough and beats her.
Yeah.
But stylistically, that one's pretty interesting, man. I think Grasso could pull it off, and
it's a really good fight. Grasso has the technique in the boxing and the awareness. And
it'd be a length disadvantage, but aside from that,
everybody's the length. Even Valentina was the length disadvantage with Chukagian, right. But it's just how she uses it. I mean, she uses those teeps. Those teeps is like jabs, so it's really smart.
Yeah. I really like that fight though. So we'll see how it plays out there. But I mean, I think out of those people, Yusuf Grasso is really the only one that logically makes sense at this exact moment. So we'll see. And I mean, she'll get there. I think if she's trending upward. I think that's certainly fair. So, all right. We scroll onward. There's that. All right. So we'll skip to Ghost's question here. And he says WMA question because he had some other non-related ones, I think.
Dana said he wasn't sure if Murphy was getting a title shot. Do you think she's in the Glover Teixeira situation?
Well, Glover's getting a title shot, buddy.
Yeah. But I think he's thinking. I think Ghost is going with like Pryor. He got skipped over. Glover got skipped over.
Yeah, for the Izzy. Yeah.
Yep.
That would be the exact same situation, wouldn't it?
It would be.
So.
Yes, it would be. And I don't think that Murphy's getting a title shot. So yeah, I guess she is in the Glover Teixeira situation.
I would be a lot more on your side with this whole Lauren Murphy thing if Nunes and Pena wasn't booked already. But since Valentina likes to be active, fuck that, dude. Yeah. Why don't you put it on that same card? And then after that, there you go. You got the trilogy. That's genius. Genius. Do it that way.
Put them in the cage together.
Yep.
Face to face.
Yep. There you go. That's how you do it.
I like it.
And then he asks, where will they try to find a more interesting fight for the champion before considering her? Or
he's talking about Murphy still.
Oh, it's a two-part kind of. Okay, yeah. So yeah.
Where will they try to find a more interesting fight for Valentina?
Right. It's only the Nunes one
before considering Lauren Murphy.
Yeah. So yeah, that timing just doesn't work. I don't think so. Yeah, put those title fights on the same card. See no reason with that.
That would be fun, actually.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that, Drake.
Yeah, see, I got some good ideas sometimes. All right, and so here's more of Ghost's. Let's see. All right, so he's asked some Nate questions.
I did see this. All right, so he said, "Are we starting with the?" I get that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are all over the place.
Yeah. I get that Nate Diaz is awesome, but why does mainstream media value his personality more than his skill set? Look at Edwards, great skill set, but only not appreciated by many. To be fair, I think that Leon Edwards did it to himself.
How so?
Dude, he doesn't put himself out there.
In terms of like promoting himself wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
I think that he would be appreciated by people. He just doesn't put himself out there. And I mean, it's not his fault that he didn't fight for so long. COVID really screwed with Leon Edwards. We talk about Whaley getting screwed by COVID. No, Leon Edwards really got screwed by COVID. He had 3 fights during the whole COVID situation.
He could have fought for the title if all that stuff didn't happen.
Right. He would have been the one fighting for the title. He had Tyron Woodley. He had Usman.
Hamzat,
yeah, but I hated that fight. I completely hated that fight. Did not care for that fight one bit. I was actually afraid for Leon with that fight. I didn't want to see Hamzat elevated that quickly. They really tried to fuck with Leon there. They even took him out of the rankings. Like, the fuck are you doing taking him out of the rankings? So the UFC didn't help Leon Edwards at all, but Leon Edwards didn't help himself either.
Yeah. That's certainly fair. And it was actually 2 questions, Yusuf. I've seen everyone say 1 question for Leon, but it was actually just 2, which still isn't great. But and he continues on to say Diaz did almost KO Leon, but why discredit everything that Leon did up until that point? I don't know.
It's for Nate Diaz. It's the mystique of it all with him and his brother and stuff. They're fucking MMA legends, dude. They really are. They're loved. They're beloved by a shit ton of people. As Drake, you were there. Who got the crowd going? It was fucking Nate Diaz, right?
Okay. Go on. Yes.
Yeah. So those two, Nate Diaz is, I think it's the mystique of it all with him. He's not the better fighter. Obviously, we saw that. We saw that. Leon Edwards is very good. He's
phenomenal. He can do everything.
He's a great fighter. Like, I want to see him fight Usman. I don't think that he'll beat him, but I want to see that fight because he deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, let's say, for example, let's say that was how the Bilal Muhammad fight played out, right?
Yeah.
Then
that was some weird shit too for him. Like, he comes back, poor guy. Like, he comes back and then he gets the Bilal fight, which he probably shouldn't have taken anyway. He just wanted to fucking fight, and then the eye poke thing happened with Bilal. Like, bad, very, very bad situation for Leon Edwards. And then he almost got fucking taken out. If Nate Diaz wasn't the finger pointer, the I got you bitch type of person, he should have finished Leon. He should have finished Leon, but he didn't. And Leon ended up winning.
Did that piss you off, man? Because I feel like if I was a Diaz fan, which I'm not, clearly.
I was heated. I was so mad. Like, I love him. I love the Diaz
dude,
brother.
don't fucking finish it. You can. You can.
God, that finger pointing really, like, my head.
Really?
So had a house full of people, right? House full of people for this card. We were fucking pumped once Nate rocked Leon, and he was like dazed and like he was on Mars somewhere. He was out in the fucking stars somewhere. He was in the cage. He was out in the stars. He was nowhere in the cage. If Nate was a finisher on the feet, which he isn't, if he was a finisher on the feet, that would have fucked Leon bad. Like that, Leon.
It's still crazy that he even hurt him that way, because Nate has never been a power puncher.
No,
he just landed a clean one. That was just all that was.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, Nate doesn't look. He has that scrawniness, but he's got some power there. It's just that we don't see it that much, that often.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, crazy shit.
Stamina said Leon absolutely self-sabotaged. The Wonder Boy fight offer and the Chimaev thing was his fault, and how he carried himself after the Muhammad fight did him no favors. Yep. He did it to himself, dude. He did it to himself. I want him to fight Usman. It's just, I get why people don't care for Leon. Like, I get it, but I can see past it. I can see how good he is.
It's weird though, because I feel like the only person that wants the Colby rematch is Dana. like I'm fine with that eventually, but it shouldn't be next. I don't think it should be next. Leon totally has earned that shit.
Yeah, I think so too. But they're gonna go with fucking Colby, man.
It's weird. I don't get it, especially after this. Like, that he's got a bunch of eyeballs on him. Like,
you would think they would want to push that guy.
Yeah,
he's British. It's his personality, dude. Like, he doesn't present himself to where he wants to talk shit, or he wants to.
He will though. Have you noticed that? Like, if he gets provoked,
he's going to be pushed. He's got to be pushed a lot. Like Masvidal. Masvidal pushed him, and I mean, Masvidal also put hands on him. So there's also that.
Yeah, I want to see that rematch for sure. So hopefully at some point anyway. But yeah, kind of answered that a little bit, I guess, in a roundabout way.
Why does ESPN like to push narratives like Leon won the decision, but Nate Diaz won the fight?
That shit drives me crazy. So, like,
because ESPN is looking for your clicks. They want you to talk about what they want you to talk about. They do it with every sport. I hate ESPN. I can't stand them. I don't like the people that are on their television shows, like their talking television shows. Um, Stephen A. Smith, can't stand him. Max Kellerman, I only like him because of boxing, because he knows boxing. Everything else, I don't like him for. Ariel Helwani, Brett Okamoto, they get on my nerves. Like, it's just ESPN has always just been about what they want you to see, because they have that leverage over you. They're basically a monopoly in the MMA, or in the sports stratosphere. They're basically a monopoly. There's CBS, there's Fox Sports, whatever one or whatever it is, but they're not even close to what ESPN is.
Yeah. Agreed. So you sum that up nicely. So it's annoying though, and that's why
I stay smart. I say smart things sometimes.
That's the thing too. Like, just in general, Ghost and everybody, like, the more mainstream anything is, the less good knowledge you're actually going to get about it. You know,
Right.
you're going to get worse, simpler, goofy discussion, because that's just unfortunately how it goes. Easier to comprehend and, I don't know, try and get their clicks, like Steve said. So
I just don't. Especially when it comes to MMA and boxing, I just don't fuck with ESPN or any other big outlet anymore. Like, I mean, of course,
they're all so bad. They're all so bad.
Terrible. They don't even represent MMA well. Like Brett Okamoto and Errol Helwani and Raimondi. I know somebody I saw earlier. Somebody said Raimondi sucks. Yeah, like it's just because they've been around for so long. Like, there's better people in MMA as far as interviews and stuff. Like James Lynch should be on a big space. Mike Heck should be on a big space. There's people out there. Bronstetter annoys the fuck out of me.
Like Aaron. He's a good guy.
He's probably a good guy, but he's a dork. And he kind of pushes his own narrative, just like the rest of them. But he's also part of TSN, which is the ESPN of Canada.
Canada's ESPN. Yeah, and I would say that Mike is on a big platform. By the way, MMA fighting is a big deal.
But it's not ESPN.
Right.
ESPN is ESPN's worldwide and every single sport, whereas MMA fighting is literally MMA fighting.
Right. Yeah, very true. Yeah, fair enough. So, all right, we'll move back on to Yusuf here. Ooh, this looks interesting. Just scanning over it.
Which women's MMA fighter has the highest ceiling if they adjust their weaknesses, excluding title challengers? For me, Araujo. Is Tatiana Suarez a title challenger?
Yeah, Yusuf, if you are still tuning in, which I imagine you are, do you mean people who have already challenged for titles, people who could challenge for titles? Give us some specificity here. But Araujo, that is definitely a good pick. The best pick, I don't know. Like, I clearly think Antonino would probably be a good one. You know what? It's got to be GDR. It's got to be GDR. If her grappling defense was, like, let's say Habib level, or something like that.
Yeah.
No one's beating her.
Yeah, could you imagine? Could you imagine Jermaine Durandamy with really, really good
I only
grappling?
said defense too. She doesn't even need the offense, which she has worked on, as we've seen. But
She
yeah,
hung in there with Amanda Nunes, who's a legit black belt.
Yep, and then choked out Pena. Like, she just needs that defense. Like it. I'd probably go GDR now. I think about it. People who have not fought for the belt, he says. Okay, so then that excludes GDR, and that's probably why he said that. So,
He said people who have not fought for the belt. So yeah. I'm going Tatiana Suarez. That's 100% for me, Tatiana Suarez.
That is
there's like no question for me.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Dern might be Dern though.
Could be.
That's another one.
It could be Dern. She obviously needs to work on the takedowns, but he says adjust their weaknesses. So adjust
striking. I was thinking as well. Like, I think if her striking was picture perfect, she doesn't need to worry about getting people down because if her striking is perfect,
knock them down.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, Dern's a good one. Yeah, Dern and Suarez, those are good. I do like Araujo, but I don't think I'd put her over those two. Carla's also good, but I don't think you put her above Suarez.
No, I would not.
Having seen how that went. Well, Carla doesn't count either because we said she's not title challengers. Right.
She's a champion already.
So yeah, not to stay on that too long. It's probably one of those strawweights.
He says he's referring to fighters such as Jan and Suarez, who haven't really shown weakness.
Okay, yeah, okay, so that's a lot more narrower. So then I guess eliminate Dern, who has shown weakness.
Suarez.
Yeah, I mean, that's still good. That's still good. But I mean, you could argue now, you, as much as I hate to say it, you mentioned Jan, that, the takedown defense and kind of get up ability there we saw, but it was against Carla, so
Carla.
We'll go with Suarez. Damn
Carla did some bad things to that girl.
Gosh. All right. So what is Jimmy saying here? What is he asking? I didn't click on that. You must have done that.
Oh, I didn't click on that. So Drake and Steve, can you guys discuss this? Whaley is not hated. She's misunderstood. People are actively dispassionate about Leon because of what he actually did. And then he said, not incorrect assumptions made about him.
Okay, so he's not hated. She's misunderstood. Well, I'm trying to fully comprehend this because I agree with it. I understand what you're saying with Wei Li, but regarding Leon, I don't know if it applies the same way. But
I don't think it's the same.
Yeah.
Stamina did say earlier, it's up there somewhere, that even the country, his own country, doesn't back Leon Edwards.
Right.
So I find that really hilarious. He's a title challenger, and the Brits are still talking about Darren Till like he's a god or something. Bros, Leon Edwards, your guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's getting that might bring the title home to you guys. Leon Edwards is the guy. Darren Till's not doing it anytime soon.
No.
Molly McEwen's not doing it anytime soon. Leon Edwards is your guy. He's the closest one.
He's the best right now, isn't he? Unless I'm forgetting somebody.
He's by far the best.
Yeah.
Jack Shore's not the guy. Like there's you guys have good fighters in England and the UK and stuff. Leon Edwards is the man. Get behind that. Get behind that guy. You have to. It's got to happen.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's like Stamina said, his own country doesn't back him. So I don't know the reason. Is he not likable? I don't know. Like, is he just too quiet? Is he just too himself? Too to himself? I don't know.
I think it also doesn't help when you look at the division he's in with all these characters too. Like, along with being plenty of exciting fighters, it's a very personality-rich division.
It's true. It's true.
Stamina says Molly and Nathaniel Wood even have more fan support than Leon.
That's sad. That's pretty sad. Like, it's that makes me sad for Leon Edwards because he's really a good fighter.
Yeah.
Yusuf said, I'm from the UK, and everybody still likes Till. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Till's a dork. Like, he's just funny. He's not championship caliber. Whereas
he's kind of a fraud. If you want to look at, like, his best win by far is Cerrone. Like, like, yeah, he beat Kelvin, but like performance wise, that wasn't his best performance at all. That's I can barely remember that fight. I just remember him clinching against the cage, and I was there for that. I was there for that.
He's more known for his humor and stuff than he is his actual fights.
Oh yeah. So yeah, but anyway, let's get back to these Yusuf questions. He's got one in the middle here.
Is Aldana the toughest challenger for Nunes, as she has good boxing with high takedown defense? I don't know.
I would have felt more better saying that before the Holly fight,
like last year. Yeah.
yeah. But and
Holly
I don't
her a little
bit. Did have a broken foot, but still didn't fight very smart.
She did. Then there's that where she didn't fight very smart.
And I as high as her takedown defense could be, I don't know if it's high enough for Nunes. On the feet, of course, that fight's very, very interesting. I would love to see that at some point still.
Yep.
Donna versus Nunes striking purely is a very fun thought, but I just think Nunes will fight smart because she's very smart. She'll take her down and she'll win it there at some point.
You would think with the Brandon Moreno, first Mexican champion and all that, amazing guy, a nerd, very funny, wants to laugh and stuff like that. You would think that they kind of want to build off of his first Mexican champion and go and push Grasso and Aldana.
Yeah.
Which they should have been doing already anyway.
Oh yeah.
They
did with Alexa a little bit.
The Mexican fight fans we've seen in boxing, they're amazing.
We saw them for Yair and Jeremy. They were very passionate.
They're amazing, dude. Very passionate and knowledgeable fight fans. We talk a lot about Japan and Brazil and stuff like that when it comes to knowledgeable fight fans and stuff. Mexico's up there, man. Mexico's up there.
Man, it's funny. This just popped in my head, but Montserrat was there for the fight, and I didn't even realize it until like fight. And I was like, oh damn, I should have tried to catch up with her while she was around. Yeah. But that looked like she was kind of a little misty eyed after the win because I was looking around and I caught her there, and right after Moreno won, I was like, yep, very good moment to be a part of.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. Brandon Moreno, man.
Indeed. But all right, then Yusuf asks if Joanna versus Weili, next number one contender, who wins and why? I still think Weili wins it again.
I still think Weili.
Yeah. Seen it before. They've had 5 rounds to analyze the data from each other, and as close as it was, or people thought it was, I think Weili took more out of that and less damage. She definitely took damage, don't get me wrong, but
they both did.
Yeah, but did not take as much as we could see. We could kind of see that. But
yeah, Weili just
she changed her face.
Yeah, she made her look like an alien.
He gave her a live action, facial surgery.
That shit was wild, dude.
Absolutely insane. So, yeah, we'll see. Makoto throwing this in here, though, talking about knowledgeable fans in Kunlun fight. I saw a fighter go through the progressions of close guard, and the crowd would go crazy after each transition. I love that. I love that so much. And that's great to see in Kunlun, too, with China, like, where it's still, a developing sport, and fighters themselves will admit this. I remember Xi Ming saying, like, it's still, people are learning still even now. But, yeah, I love that when they're educated. Like, that's what's so great about Japan.
Yep, agree.
So,
and as dickish as Brazilian fight fans are, they know what they're saying and what they're talking about.
Yeah,
they're just assholes about it.
Man, the Arizona crowd was actually horrible earlier at the beginning of the night. It was
dreadful. They were booing like very, very loudly, and I didn't understand it. Like I really
yeah, it was.
Did you understand?
No, no, not at all. It was pretty.
And it was very loud booing.
It was There was one guy. There was one asshole who was just being insane. He was just yelling boring over and over and over, and nobody was around him yet. Like, he just had his seats with his girlfriend who was next to him. I was like, jeez,
how embarrassing, dude.
Yeah, I know.
How embarrassing for the girl. Like, oh god, this fucking drunk fool.
Probably like, help me, please. But yeah, I was like, this guy's gonna get fucked up if he keeps doing this and people show up next to him, which of course they did, and I don't know what happened, but like, he was already getting people yelling at him like, shut the fuck up, you asshole.
What were they? I love that.
Oh yeah.
Love that. I love it when stupid drunk fight fans get put in their place by other fight fans.
Right.
I love that kind of shit.
Yeah. Just not a smart thing to do.
Rain asks, why did the crowd hate Riddell? Because he was American.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't understand the Americans who boo non-Americans. Like, I don't get it. They're fighters just like the rest of us. Are you really that patriotic? Like, that you have to boo every fucking non-American fighter? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
James with a funny comment here. I did not hear him saying that, but
well, you weren't watching on television.
Oh, okay. Oh, he said it on the broadcast.
Did you guys catch John Adnick saying there were no boos in Jacksonville? He must have missed Whaley's walkout and exit.
I was there for that one too, and there were definitely many boos that night for Jake Paul in particular, as well as fighters. But Jake Paul definitely got the loudest of the reaction.
He deserves all the boos.
Yes, indeed. But
Jake
that's
Paul
a very
every single boo.
Yeah, that's funny for John to say that and like skip over Houston. I don't know. I wasn't there for that one, but like, yeah, there were definitely boos in Jacksonville. Definitely boos, and I mean, even Kamaru got booed. Like, what is he talking about? Kamaru was getting booed all week.
He did. Usman got booed. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brazilian fans are the worst, says Chuck. They're bad. They're very bad. They're fucking mean. They literally want you to die if you're not Brazilian. That's literally their chant. Is I can't remember what it is, but
I think it's "You're gonna die."
But in from translation from Portuguese to English, it's "You're gonna die."
Right.
They're literally the entire arena says chants in Portuguese, "You're gonna die," to American or non-Brazilian fighters.
Right. Yeah.
Wild.
All right. And then Yusuf finishing things off with some random non-lady talk, which is fine, but here we are.
Why are fighters hesitant to strike with Wonder Boy like Tylan Woodley? Who would want to fight with Wonder Boy? Like, he's so awkward and he comes at different angles and he keeps stances. wide open stances and he fucks you up. He's fast and he's quick and he just comes at different angles. Like it. That's why Wonder Boy's not getting a title shot. I mean, nobody wants to fight that guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. All the points you just kind of mentioned there is why people are hesitant to fight him, because when they do the opposite, that's not the way that you fight that style that Wonder Boy is, because then he jacks you up. Like look at any fighter that, you know, has pretty much gotten aggressive with him. You know, like even the Anthony Pettis fight, Wonder Boy was dominating and he just got caught in that one at the end there. But you know, you look back at his career leading up to the title fight. You know, Rory, who was even throwing some Imanari rolls at him, doing anything he could to try and get around that. Dan Stitchin, what was that, his debut? Like when people were still trying to figure him out at all. Robert Whittaker, prime example of doing what not to do against Wonder Boy.
And he's a champion. He's a championship caliber fighter. And he did stupid shit against Wonder Boy.
Yeah, Masvidal, like
Masvidal thought that he would be able to stand there with Wonder Boy and fight him. Can't do that. Burns is gonna have a hell of a time.
Yeah.
But he has the jiu-jitsu to back him up. It's just getting there.
Right. So yeah, then he asked for a brief breakdown of Wonder Boy versus Burns. I mean,
and who you got? I'm pretty sure that both Drake and I have Wonder Boy winning this fight.
Man, I do love Gilbert, and I think he is phenomenal. Obviously, he showed it in that first round against Usman and on his fights leading up to that. But like, it's just stylistically, you know, it's
bad, very bad,
not great. I think that because he is a rather aggressive guy as a striker, and fantastically patient on the ground when needed to be. I think that he should try to take it to the ground. But of course, way easier said than done. Close that distance, which is going to be a task for him. And a smaller, not a small welterweight, but a smaller one. He was at lightweight, if we remember, which is crazy because he is a pretty thick dude. But, you know, against a guy like Wonder Boy, who is a very solid welterweight, excuse me. Yeah, man, I think he'll have his work cut out for him. So. I just think Wonder Boy has been one of those guys where the guys who have beat him have either gotten lucky, like Pettis, to put it bluntly. I think he got lucky. There was not lucky, but you know, he caught him with the one shot. And then Matt Brown is like his only other legit loss, I think. You know, like the Woodley fights. The one was a draw. The second fight, I think he should have won. And then Till thought he should have won that one too.
Should have been Till.
So like, shit, you know, it's just very, very tough to figure that puzzle out. I don't know if Burns can do it, but he could catch him. Man. Yeah.
Such a bad fight for literally anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's one of the fighters that I really want to see as a champion before they go.
Oh, what a story that would be.
Yeah, it's kind of like Chael Sonnen.
Yeah. So, Mr. Beckham is here, by the way, everybody. Hoping Amanda Serrano gets better competition next time. Yeah.
She's at that spot right now where she's not going to fight the greatest of competition, but she can fight better than what she's fighting.
Is she pretty much done with boxing?
No, she just had a fight.
Right, I forgot about that. Never mind.
Had a fight a couple of months ago.
I forgot about that completely. All right, moving on.
She's going for the big money fights in boxing, but I mean,
running out of those.
As big of money as they get, I guess.
Yeah.
Women's boxing, and there's no love. There's no love there.
Yeah. All right. Well, that closes up the Twitter mailbag for the day, you guys. Good stuff as always. Plenty to get into there. And now we roll on to the news. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. One that came out today, and I didn't actually see too much buzz about it, but maybe you guys did. We'll get to that. News time, though. All UFC fights, and one has been rebooked, and it's actually next week. So we'll just kind of mention. Yeah, we'll just mention it. And we'll, of course, talk more about it next week. But Julia Avila and Julija are going to fight. Still going to fight, Steve.
Yes. Just at June 26th.
Yep, next week. Right, that is next week, right? Jeez, dude. How is it the end of June already? Yeah.
We're on June 14th right now.
Wow. Jeez, that's crazy to me. That's very crazy to me. But yeah, I feel for Julija having to still get this matchup. I think
it's a bad fight. I don't like the matchup, but I'm really happy to see Vila.
Yes, I know. I love me some Raging Panda. You guys know that. She is definitely one of my favorites. Always love seeing her fight. And Julija, since leaving the Ultimate Fighter, has been very good. And she did have a very tough return to the UFC in Yana. But a very tough, second fight back now to still get, because they were supposed to fight a while back, but Julija passed out on the scales, which, geez, insanity. So yeah, still gonna get it. Is what it is.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
Her falling down on the scales and stuff.
I still fucking can't believe they put her back on it after passing out once. That drove me insane. Like what are you doing, dude?
What convention was that?
That was in Vegas.
Was that Vegas?
Yeah, Nevada.
So bad.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Just crazy. All right, moving on though. Quick turnaround, Steve. Quick turnaround alert. This should be a fun one. I like it.
Yeah. Your girl, Manon Fiorot versus Mayra Bueno Silva. All the way in September, though. It's at the very end of September.
So maybe not a quick turnaround, but a quick rebooking.
But, the rebooking, we don't even know where it's at, assuming it's in probably Vegas. I mean, who knows, actually?
That could be a pay-per-view.
Who knows if it's a pay-per-view? Yeah. Who knows? We don't know anything. Your girl's going to win that fight, I would assume, though.
Yeah,
striking is phenomenal.
Yeah, yep. And then an underappreciated ground game, which we have yet to see in the UFC.
No, it's been all about her beautiful striking.
Yep.
Up until now.
And I like this fight stylistically, but again, as we were talking about 2 weeks ago or whenever, 2 weeks ago when she had her last fight. Yeah, this probably wouldn't have been the fight I'd make matchmaking wise. I know that Mayweather is coming off of the draw with Montana, right? But I mean, she's not ranked, is she?
No.
Silva's not ranked. She
shouldn't be.
But yeah, that's yeah. But because I kind of felt like if you're gonna put Maverick in there, I think that Fiorot is around that kind of same speed, if not a little bit higher right now. Just this by a smidge, but I wouldn't have been mad at her getting a top 15. Yusuf goes as far to say, give her a top 10 right now. The female Wonder Boy.
No.
Wouldn't have been super mad at it, but instead, a little bit slower.
That would be Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, which Grasso needs to fight up, so that would.
Or Roxanne Modafferi.
Oh yeah, for Grasso or Fiorot?
No, Fiorot.
Okay, yeah, that would be
because she's at number 9.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool to look forward to something. But yes, very far away. This has to be the farthest out card that they've set fights for, right? Like September 25th event. I haven't heard about.
They should put her in there with Macy Barber.
Oof. Do you want Macy to die?
Yeah.
That would have been good though, actually, in terms of logical matchmaking. I'd be all for that one. Definitely not what Macy would want or will want.
Nope.
which still fascinating to see what's going to be next for her, like how they want to approach that. And when, who knows what's going on with her, right? Haven't been following her stuff, but yeah, well, I'll take it. I mean, I'm not going to get too excited because, again, it is very far away. So
yeah, it's all the way at the end of September.
Just hopefully, if something happens, Furo, I guess, is the one who stays in the fight. We will see. Oh yeah, they made Barber Maverick. That's what it is. Yeah. I forgot about that. Thank you, Rue, for pointing that out. So yeah, they are trying to get rid of Macy.
Which in this past week's rankings, Macy Barber jumped up to 13 and Maverick went down to 14. They flip-flopped, but they're fighting each other.
That is so fucking stupid, dude.
Right. How does that even make sense?
That is so stupid. She's lost 2 in a row. Silly.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, yo. Rain loves your suggestion. Yes, Steve, I'd love to see if you're a demolished Barber. All right. Well, if you want to talk about a contrast in a rushed fighter in
I love when people just trash on Barber.
I know.
Everybody's doing it.
If you want to talk about
so unlikable. Like, oh.
To a fighter who is not being rushed is what I'm getting at. We're getting a nice slow burn here for another one of your girls, Steve. Tracy Cortez. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I like the fight with Aldrich. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Aldrich is tough, but I mean Cortez needs to step up competition though. So
that's what I'm saying. They're giving her the slow burn, which I mean, maybe a little bit slower than I would have expected. I don't think, push her super far. And I don't think you're saying that either, but maybe a little bit somebody different here. And
more.
Yeah. I mean, she's coming off of Quiche, right? That was the last fight.
Terrible. Terrible.
And then to go, I think she should have won that fight, but that's me. So JJ here, I think is another, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Should be a tough one because JJ's always one of those fighters who makes it tough for pretty much anybody, but just might not come out on top. And
he's a tough fighter, man.
So I think this will be a fun fight, and I'm not super mad at it, but I'm definitely surprised to see that they're being slow with Tracy, which is kind of refreshing. I'd rather somebody get the slow burn than too fast.
Well, then people really get annoyed by you if you get pushed, like Macy Barber.
Exactly. And it hurts more than anything, potentially.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. And I'm really happy with the way that they're doing Tracy Cortez right now. But if she beats JJ Aldrich, then they need to really go get her some names that people know.
Yeah. Maybe like Antonina. We'll see. But,
Yusuf said, I can't believe Colby called Cortez Krusty the Clown.
Did he?
I guess. I don't know. That's fucking hilarious, though. Like, Colby's funny, dude. Like, he's annoying. His little shtick or whatever is annoying as fuck, but he says some funny shit sometimes. I mean, that's funny. We're laughing, right? Like,
I just want to know this context, Yusuf. Please link it. Please throw the link in there.
Yeah,
that's
link us both with that. Like, I want to see that. That's fucking hilarious.
That's such a random attack to me in my mind.
Like, right? Like,
it was in the Submission Radio interview. He says, "Okay." And Stamina is hard disagree with you, Steve.
That's what I'm saying. Is like he's so unlikable. People don't think he's funny. Sometimes he's funny to me. I hate him. Like I can't stand him. I hope that Usman jacks his jaw again. But I mean, He's said a few things that like the funniest thing about Colby is when he went to the cops when for doing through the
like unintentional hilarity, right?
we're doing through the boomerang at him, and he called the cops on him. Like, that shit's hella fun, dude. That's fucking hilarious. I don't care what you say.
A classic moment in MMA history. What a scene! What a scene that was. Boomerang, dude.
Boomerang. Oh man, that shit's
he nailed him good with that too. Purdue really landed that sucker, dude.
He wanted to press charge.
That's how bad it got him.
Fucking dying, bro. That shit, every time that video comes up or like somebody talks about it, I fucking die laughing because I picture it, you know? Like it's fucking hilarious. That shit's hella funny, dude.
Yeah, wow. I haven't thought about that in a while. It's good. Oh man. That might be the hardest we've laughed on this show's history. For sure.
Colby made us laugh. The hardest that we've ever laughed.
Oh my god. Jesus. That is good. Oh, all right. Anyway. Finishing up the news here, coming up on 2 more bouts for you. And we alluded to this one a little bit, but boy, Steve, didn't see this one coming at all. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, kind of weird. Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo. Another September fight at UFC 266. I don't know about this fight with Calvillo, for Calvillo.
Yeah. This I don't see any way that she wins this fight. It's like this is very tough matchup for her. She's gonna need to catch a submission or something, which I think Jessica will be too strong to be stuck in anything like that.
Yeah.
But the big surprise to me is, as we've been talking about it after her loss was sounded like to me from what I was hearing that she was for sure going to go back down to strawweight, and maybe she still will, but gonna get this one in first, perhaps, clearly. But yeah,
a bad matchup, I think.
Yeah, it's just rough for Calvillo. I mean, unless she makes some drastic changes after that 2 kg and 1. Yeah,
I don't see where she can make that much of a change to beat Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, that's it's a big ask, despite Andrade just getting dominated thoroughly, she's still very good and a nightmare for a lot of people. And I think Cynthia Calvillo is definitely going to be one of them, which is a bummer because, I've spoken to Calvillo before. She's fun to talk to. She's all right. She's all right in my books, but
yeah, I think she's a sweetheart, to be honest. I think she's a sweetheart. It's just
she's lost so much steam since the Carla loss, dude. So much. She was on a hot rise, and the UFC loved her, and it's just been rough since then.
I think it was the weed.
Yeah, very, very well could have been. Yeah, she lost like 8 months of her career or something.
Yeah. Stamina says the moral of Calvillo Andrade pairing is call your fucking shot and you invariably get it. These UFC broads are doing their best to not take this on board after all this time. Frustrating as fuck.
Yeah, because like I was saying, I think that the Calvillo Grasso matchup that's perfect matchmaking. Perfect matchmaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Calvillo didn't want to fight down, which I don't think you really should have a say, considering the position that you were in, and just getting.
There's plenty of fighters that are fighting down. Look what Penny did. So many fighters fight down now.
Yeah, and She got her wish though. Huge opportunity, but man, that's a tough one. Very tough one. So
Well,
we'll see how that goes for her. Yeah, in September again.
All the way in September. We still got the hot months to make it through.
Got to get through the summer. Which feels like I'm in that early non-summer of Washington, coming back from the desert, which it is definitely summertime over there, you guys. Oh my God. It's hitting some heights.
All right, so Ghost Phantom says this seems like a nightmare matchup for Calvillo. He says Calvillo getting destroyed. Ghost Phantom says Calvillo just doesn't have the range striking to keep her away. And then he goes on to say, or the pocket fighting to time Andrade.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy says either Calvillo jabs like what Joanna did, or catch and dodge on the entry like what Whaley did. I don't think Calvillo has the skills to do either.
Exactly. Unfortunately. And unfortunately for her, love Andrade as well. But yeah. Yep. We'll see. Anyway, now down to the strawweight division to round out the news for the week, you guys. The fight that I said was made just today, and I didn't see too much about it. Yeah, and you know that everyone is going to have plenty to say about it, but here we are, Steve.
They're calling for it. These two, Angela Hill versus Tisha Torres, 2 set for UFC 265. Not all the way in September, but in a couple of months, October 7th or August 7th. Sorry. Wow. Look at that framing of Angela Hill's afro. Like that really makes
too much fro.
Very tall.
Yeah, I know, right?
So they have a thing for each other. I don't think that they like each other. Like, honestly, I think there's a little bit of dismay between the two. They don't like each other. So this is kind of a grudge match between the two.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Here it comes.
Bruce says, I hope Hill lays an egg.
I love the way you responded to that. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this rematch. I think it makes sense to do.
Yeah.
In terms of animosity, yeah, I think it is definitely built up over the years for reasons. There's Makoto with the FL. Yeah, and the first fight happened in Mexico, right? And we saw Tisha utilize pretty much her wrestling to get the win there, which she could very well do again. I don't think she will, but Tisha, after rebounding against BVB, looked absolutely sensational in that fight. If she can continue to carry on from there, and then against Sam Hughes, right? She looked fantastic there.
Yeah, that Sam Hughes fight.
Like she's we're seeing a little bit of Tisha 3.0, I could say. I think we've gone through a couple phases here. I think she should be able to, put on a war with Hill, but if she looks the way that she has been, I think she should be relatively fine.
She should be. She's really turned a corner lately. That Sam Hughes fight, dude, she was so dominant in that fight. Sure, Sam Hughes isn't at her level either. Right. But she did what she had to do. A lot of fighters fight down. Mm-hmm. She showed dominance in that fight. She was very dominant. Yeah,
and I think that Tisha could even mix in the wrestling again in this fight with Hill, just because it worked the first time. Why not try it again? And we know that Angela's takedown defense is probably her weakest area. She gets taken down by a lot of people, even when she wins. Like Yoder got her down in their rematch. So yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Tisha's a pretty smart fighter. Mm-hmm. And, I'm looking forward to it though. I like it.
Yeah, I like how there's animosity between the two.
Yeah, which I don't think will affect anything fight wise, but it'll make the build up more fun. So.
No, I don't think it'll affect anything in the fight. I think they're both smart enough to not let things get in
Bother them,
between them. But yeah, the Angela Hill will talk shit now, for sure.
Yeah.
Stamina says, I've got Torres. Hill will turn into a bag of wind midway through round 2, and Tisha will just do whatever the fuck she wants. I like the whatever the fuck. All in one.
Tisha never slows down, so.
She doesn't. Her stamina is amazing.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, not a Hill fan. Talking shit about Whaley when Whaley said nothing to her. James says, Tisha should take this one. She's been in there with every champion and a 2-fight win streak.
That is an interesting point. She actually has fought all the champions, hasn't she? It's interesting. Yeah. She beat one of them. And should have 2 wins over them, in my opinion. But
we saw that one already, Drake.
Oh, whoops.
Ghost Phantoms. Angela Hill still thinks that she's a title contender. They're treating her like she is one, though. The UFC is. I mean, they're putting her on TV.
Yeah, they always push that, don't they? Like the commentary.
Yep.
Which is just never been the case, honestly, right? That's just not true.
Rain says Tisha has lost to Andrade, Rose Whaley, Joanna, and Rena. Hill has lost to Randa.
Ouch. Ow. My heart. Shade at Randa there. Fair enough.
I mean, that's fact, though.
Yeah, it is. Certainly is. And she's lost to Tisha as well, Rain. So there is that. So, yeah. All right. That fight is going down again. Not mad at it.
No, I think it's the fight that should be happening anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Apply cold water to burn area. Jace. Sizzle. All right. It will. Definitely will. So that was the news of the week, everybody. So now it is preview time. And hold on, let me add a banner here because I forgot to do that. Lighter load than last week. UFC Vegas 29 coming up this Saturday night. Flyweight and strawweight action.
This is Korean Zombie and Ige.
Yes, it is.
Oh
so before we get to the real main event, we're starting things off. We're starting things off at flyweight, Steve.
Yeah, Lara Procopio versus Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill's returning off of a fantastic win in her debut. But Procopio is tough. Does she beat Procopio in her second UFC fight?
Yeah, don't know about that. As we said, when this fight was made,
wow, really, it's near even, the odds.
Which is hilarious. Just not a fan of it. This is another rush job at flyweight.
Right.
For Casey O'Neill.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe she could prove us wrong. But I don't know. When you just look at Procopio, especially in that last fight against Molly, looked fantastic. And her only loss to Carol Hosa, which was by split decision at bantamweight. It's her only loss. And you compare, who they fought. It's how they've looked and all that. We know Casey O'Neill is great on the ground, but Lara Procopio might not be able to manhandle her the same way as Shanna Dobson, which that's not saying much, right? Like, no offense, but we know what these fighters are good at, and that was how that fight was ultimately supposed to go. Yeah. Didn't tell us a whole lot from Casey. That's what we see from her all the time. Procopio is simply just better right now.
Okay.
And still just 25 herself. Very, very.
They're both young.
Yeah, very on the come up. Great prospects, both of them. But and again, certain timings of the levels that these fighters are at. And
yep.
Casey just is not there just yet.
I mean, she could prove us wrong. I mean, she's shown that she knows how to fight.
Yeah.
It's just, is she going to be better than Procopio? I don't think so. But I do think that it goes the distance, though. I don't see either of them getting a finish.
Yeah, I agree. So, but I just think Procopio will be firmly in control, though, as Casey looks for takedowns, kind of gets in some bad spots, and takes some damage in those areas. On the feet, I think she'll get outstruck. It's just too soon for her, despite the similarities in age, right, and them both being prospects and all that. Procopio has just moved a little bit quicker and more established herself earlier, I think, in terms of where she is. So yeah, I think decision though, Procopio, just unanimous decision for me.
His girl looks like Krusty the Clown. I don't think there's any explaining. I think it's self-explanatory. That's just what it is. So.
Oh my God. Yusuf sent the Krusty the Clown clip.
I didn't hear him say Krusty the Clown. What did he say?
Did you play it?
No, I was just listening.
I don't think there's any explaining. Sure. I think it's.
Hang on, Krusty the Clown. You're gonna have to explain this one to us, Colby.
His girl looks like Krusty the Clown. I don't think there's any explaining. I think it's self-explanatory. That's just what it is. So.
Hang on,
Okay, well, that wasn't as funny as I expected it to be.
Yeah, no, there was nothing there, to be honest. Like
you let us down, Yusuf.
He did this face thing like Krusty the Clown. What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
I guess we shouldn't be surprised though. And Stamina's gonna leave. But yeah, Procopio UD for me, Steve.
Yeah, same. Yep, same. I mean, I could see it going either way, but I think the Procopio is the better fighter right now. Yeah, decision.
Yeah. Yep. Man, I hope that at least, Casey doesn't look just completely outmatched, because
it could happen though. Procopio is really tough. She's strong, man.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, former
physically
bantamweight.
Strong. She's a physically strong fighter.
Stamina pointed that out too. Muscle and technique is kind of whatever debut versus whatever opponent. Just going to a split decision with Carol Hossa, it's very impressive considering how Hossa's looking at up a weight, right? So, and that was a loss, and a judge thought she won, so that's pretty crazy too. But yep. What you heard there is a sum total of all Covington commentary. That's his level. The bar is lower than a snake's belly. I have never heard that before, but I like it. I'm going to use that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Low
Kobe's,
bar.
He is what he is, man.
Oh boy! All right,
Marty fake newsman.
Marty fake newsman,
snoozeman.
Judas, Street Judas, Masvidal. All the nicknames. But anyway,
I think we're giving Colby too much playtime.
Yes, I agree. Let's go to the real main event now. As I said, strawweights, Steve. It's finally here. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
Virna Jandiroba versus Kanako Murata. Yeah, poor Drake.
It makes me so upset, but so happy. It's so good and bad at the same time. It's not bad. But it's so good because they're both so good and likable.
They're likable, yeah.
Man, here it is. Well, we know there's really no secret about the matchup. Virna, one of the best jiu-jitsu players in the sport, in you name it. Kanako, one of the best wrestlers. They're very elite grapplers in different arts of grappling. With continuously improving striking, Kanako showed great striking against Randa in her debut. Some very improved ground and pound, I thought. And then Verna obviously went to war on the feet with Mackenzie Dern. Looked very capable there. So, man, I guess the question here, Steve, is will their fantastic grappling arts negate and they will throw down? Are we going to see a slugfest again for
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, this is kind of like the Mackenzie Dern thing.
Yeah.
Where they're not going to want to go to the ground against each other.
It's like I want to see that, but
yeah. Welcome to my world with every fucking wrestling fighter.
And I feel like too, in terms of what'll be more dangerous for somebody on the ground, I lean towards it being more dangerous for Kanako. But then you look back at Verna versus Carla, and Carla was able to survive, which leads me to think like, okay, Kanako should be able to, because Kanako, I believe, is on that level. It's the big three of wrestlers at strawweight. Well, I guess we'll go with two. Suarez out of the picture, but Carla and Kanako are elite level wrestlers. And boy, that'd be a great matchup. Wrestling wise, Steve, I know you'd love that one day.
Woo! Super fun.
Same like heights and stats.
Wild.
But yeah, if you're just to look at those kind of matchups and how they played out, then you're like, okay, Kanako should be able to be fine down there too. And especially with that continuously dangerous ground and pound she's showing off. And she's got sneaky submissions as well. She's got that Von Prue, the Von Flu that she's pulled off back-to-back times. Yeah, it's I've been flip-flopping on it hard, dude. I'm very, very up in the air with this, and I don't even know if I'll be able to make a pick. And I know I do have a pick submitted in Fanatics MMA right now, but I don't know. Let's read some of these comments first before I really get thinking harder.
Stamina said, all right, fuck everything. I'm ultra pumped for Virna. Gonna go, this should be amazing.
Agreed.
Drake, I know you love Konako, but Virna has more skill and more experience. Her striking might not be the best, but she did break Dern's face.
I mean, her striking is getting very good, man. I mean, good enough. Like
good enough.
She was doing fine on the feet.
But I mean, also Dern's not the greatest striker, so
yeah, indeed. But that's the thing.
Can't really say Virna's getting. She went up against Mackenzie Dern, who isn't a great striker.
Right. And also the thing is, we have to mention every time Verna fights, right, Steve, is that her striking is primarily, when you're not facing Mackenzie Dern, I guess, set up to take her opponents down. She lulls you into thinking she wants to strike, and then she fucking snaps like a snake.
Which I thought was going to happen with Dern, but it just never came to fruition because Dern didn't let that happen.
Right. So,
and I mean, this could happen in this fight. That could happen in this fight too.
Yeah. Or where she, gets Kanako to think that and forces Kanako to shoot. Who knows? That's what's so exciting about it.
Her wrestling is so good though. So I really want to see it happen.
Yeah.
I want to see her go for the takedown and get the single leg or the double leg, take Virna down, and then see what Virna can do against that.
Exactly. So,
because I do think that's how they would end up to the ground. I think that Kanako would be the one that would shoot.
Yeah, I don't think Virna can take down Kanako. Right?
No. That ain't happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening. But if Kanako goes for the takedown, Virna is smart enough and really good. She can fucking turn shit around.
Yeah, fall into an advantageous position. right? Which is why Rue then points out, I don't think Kanako would double leg Verna because she'd have to play in the guard. Like, see, it's such a mental chess battle, really, with the styles that they present. It's like
it is, but this is the thing that like eats me. We never see it.
Yeah, because they don't even want to bother.
because they don't want to go up again. They don't want to test each other in a fight, in a real fight. Like if it was on the mats and they were rolling, jiu-jitsu or whatever, they would obviously have to do it. But in a real fight where they can keep it standing and they could trade punches and stuff, that's probably what's going to happen. It sucks.
Dude, I know. You're just talking about this now is really convincing me that we're going to see a brawl, like a total stand-up fight, which I am curious to see that too, just because of how, the improvements that they've made and everything. But you want to see these incredible grapplers grapple so badly. And Jimmy pointing out, remember Kanako got submitted by Rin Nakai, so something to consider. I disagree with that because Rin Nakai is fucking huge compared to
that's true.
Kanako and Verna.
Yeah, that's very true, Drake. I agree with that. Rin Nakai is massive, dude.
Yeah.
Whereas Verna's not.
Yeah. And Kanako wasn't even doing terrible in that fight either. She just kind of ended up getting caught and just really kind of over muscled because fucking Nakai is literally a big muscle. So yeah, that's is what it is. And that was earlier on too, so plenty more experience since then as well. So I don't consider that too much. But Rain Von Flu choke should be the OSP. Yeah, I mean, there's that argument people like to make. Yusuf, how dare you, man? Get with the program. How good is Kanako? Don't know her. She's phenomenal, my man. If you've been listening to us already, then I don't need to tell you anymore. But Kanako she's probably my favorite fighter right now. Still, she has been for a good while now. Up there with Xiaonan, of course, and Julia Avila, who we mentioned earlier. But I've been on that Kanako train for days. So she's fantastic. What's up?
What flu was against Angela Magana, right?
Magana and Orozco. She got him back to back. And that Orozco one is one of my favorite submissions ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Magana sucked, so not really surprised.
Right. That was great to see as not a big fan of Magana and a Kanako fan. That was excellent. I was a fan of that one. But Makoto going with Verna, just more experience.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean,
man. This is a tough one.
It's very tough.
Yeah, where you can see like a lot of
many different outcomes,
different things happening in the fight, in a 3-round fight.
Indeed. Ghost saying his thing with Verna is her jiu-jitsu is simple and incredibly effective, and Verna has pretty good wrestling in her Invicta days.
I don't think that Verna's jiu-jitsu is really that simple. I just think that she makes it look simple. She freaking she's like a
this woman beat Amanda Nunes, everybody.
Yeah.
She's defeated Nunes. So
and Gabby Garcia.
Claudia. Plenty of people. Stamina. For this fight, I'm going to be the winner as spectator. Absolutely. That's the thing for me, man. Like, I'm going to win and lose from seeing this, because I don't want either to lose so badly. But I think a draw might be more of a setback than a loss for one of them, Like,
that'd be terrible.
Yeah, that just in this division, I don't think you can have that. James Kanako takedown has to be like the Valentina body, like where she falls right into side control. Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah, she's definitely capable of doing that.
She's strong enough for sure.
Yeah. Can Kanako be a future champ? Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
She is that good. And if you just look at go watch her debut, Yusuf, in the UFC, and then watch the Magana fight and the Orozco fight, especially that Orozco fight, because oh my god, the setup, how she set up that Von Flu choke is just
She's
massive
fought
on the feet. She did it on the feet, dude.
Yeah, and she's fought everywhere. She's fought in Ryzen. She's fought in Invicta. She's fought in the UFC. She's fighting in the UFC, obviously. Yeah. Like, she's fought everywhere. And she's doing very well. As you can see there, only one loss. Only one loss.
Which we just mentioned to the much larger Nakai.
Yep.
Where she didn't even do that bad.
It was a long time ago. How long ago was that?
16, I think. I think that was 17 or 16.
So long ago.
Yeah. And again,
at Ryzen Fighting World Grand Prix of 2016.
Okay.
And then she hasn't lost since then.
Right.
She has only that one loss. Pancrase and Deep, like, dude, she's fought literally everywhere.
Yeah, for still a young career, it's pretty impressive. And she treats it all the same. Like, that's the thing about her mentality too, is that she is a goddamn like machine of an athlete, you know, like just so dedicated to the craft. And she was going to aim for the Olympics on the Japanese wrestling team, right? But then, you know, fell into MMA, just kind of how it goes, and wanted to be like the next Saori Yoshida, right? Or whoever that legendary wrestler is. So yeah, man, she is very good, Yusuf, and was actually, her and Whaley were supposed to fight at Ryzen 10, as you surely know, as you've heard by now anyway. But yeah, she is improving quickly, I think, if you look at that last fight in particular. And yeah, Makoto Kanako is good, but I don't know how she deals with Verena's closed guard. Maybe she doesn't, man. And that's why, Steve, I've decided I think we're not going to see grappling now. I have come to the conclusion that we're not going to see them go to the ground. I think they're both confident there, but they won't want to risk it. I think Kanako has more power behind her shots, though. She's going to do more damage on the feet.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, I know. Maybe. I can't see her knocking out Verna. It could happen if somebody's going to get a knockout. I think it'll be Kanako, strong, but man. I just think she's going to. Yeah, I think she's going to land some bombs in a ridiculous strike fest now. So I'm sticking with Kanako. I am going to hate to see Verna potentially on a 2-fight losing streak. She is maybe the nicest person on the planet. I love speaking with her. I love speaking with both of them. They're both incredible individuals. I've spoken to both of them multiple times. I love these girls so much. I hate it, but I love it. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Kanako. I just think I really believe in her to be a future staple. And I feel the same way about Verna, but in terms of youth and who's got more wear and tear on their body as well. You mentioned that experience. Somebody, I forget who it was. Verna had an entire jiu-jitsu career before her MMA career, and Kanako had a very lengthy wrestling life, you know. But
she's so good. She's such a good wrestler.
Yeah, it's this fight is ridiculous to me. So, but I'm just gonna go with Kanako based off of pretty much her power and gonna be able to land harder shots. So, I'm gonna say Kanako in. I was going to say split right there, but I think it'll be unanimous. All three will agree.
Yeah. I'm going to go Kanako, and I think that she gets a finish.
Oh.
I think that she's able to wrap her up or get a takedown somehow.
Ground it, pound it out.
Grab a leg and fucking use her wrestling and her technique and her body weight. Get that upper body weight going and fucking.
This is such a hopeful prediction from you for this matchup.
I mean, honestly, it is. Like, I mean, honestly, that's what I want to see because, I mean, that's what I want to see all the time. Whenever we talk about wrestler versus grappler, like, or wrestler versus BJJ player, like, that's literally what I want to see. I want to see those two go up against each other and see what is better.
Yeah.
For me personally, I've always thought the wrestling was better because I'm a wrestler. I've never done jiu-jitsu, so I don't know shit about it. I mean, I know about it, but I don't know how to do it. I know how to wrestle. I think that Virna, I think that she's not going to be strong enough to keep Kanako off of her once she's on her. And so she gets ground and pound.
All right.
Third round, ground and pound.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think if it does happen, it'll be later.
Yeah, it'll be later for sure. It's not going to be It's not going to be a quick finish. It won't be a quick finish. They're not going to make anything fast. I don't think.
Yeah, they're too smart for that. But
For sure.
fuck, dude, I am just so conflicted. The more I anticipate this, it just eats me up.
Man. So there's a couple of comments here.
Mhm.
Makoto says Kanako and Carla would be great, or might look like Watterson versus Carla. I would love to see that fight, but
I think Kanako is too aggressive for that to play out like that fight.
she's not up there with Carla. Carla's like borderline title fight right now.
Oh yeah, I mean we won't see that too soon. We could see it at some point. I hope we do see it, but
And then Rue says jiu-jitsu and wrestling should be done together, as Firas Zahabi likes to say. I think so. I think I think you would get, if they were together, you would get this ultimate fighter.
GSP.
Right. I mean, literally, GSP, he started out karate, right? Started out karate, and then he turned into maybe the best
prototype
fighter ever. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh? Like when you think about GSP, like how he became, how good he is, how good he was in his prime.
How he became GSP. Yeah.
Man, that rise, those fights, GSP, that was the best MMA that you could watch.
Yeah.
The best GSP was the best MMA.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's hard to replicate that. That was something. But
Yeah.
I see you, James. He's asking who was the underdog in Whaley versus Kanako at Ryzen 10. Well, since it didn't happen,
yeah,
I don't know if odds ever were released, but at that time, I don't know. I have no idea who they would have went with, but yeah, because it didn't get canceled, like it was fairly quickly after. I think it came together. Obviously,
it was very fast, but it was like a month. It was like a month out or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
it just didn't happen. The fight just didn't happen.
Yeah,
because of one of them got hurt. Which one?
Yeah, Whaley had a shoulder issue.
Whaley hurt her shoulder. Yeah.
So, man. I'm gonna be pacing for this fight, dude. It's this is my main event, you guys.
Is this a main card fight?
I believe so.
I think it is.
Not 100% sure, but it definitely should be.
Click on that UFC Fight Night Korean Zombie versus EJ. Yep. Click on that.
Oh, whoops! I didn't. I did new tab. Whoops. All right. Oh, not on theirs.
Yeah.
But
we'll see. Is it lower than Procopio?
No, Procopio's opening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't realize this fight was on here.
Brown and Lima.
Ooh,
it's actually a decent card. Marlon Vera and Davey Grant. Yep. Alexei Olenek.
I love me some Juicy J.
It's really a good solid card.
Silva and Turman.
Bruno Silva, yep.
Samuelsberger had a great win his last fight. It's Chaos. Yeah, not too shabby. Rick Glenn is always fun. Ricky, excuse me.
Ricky.
So awkward.
That's funny. Solid card. Oh man, the main event, dude. Korean Zombie and Ige.
He's back.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be such a firefight.
Yeah. But here we are. We agreed on both of our predictions here for the UFC Vegas 29 preview, you guys. And see, Jimmy asked, do we think the Kanako's win over Dakota should have been unanimous? I mean, that's kind of a weird question because that means that we think all judges should have agreed, right? But and we know that Kansas and Missouri athletic commissions are absolute garbage. But yeah, I thought it was relatively clear. Obviously, a closer fight than I think we expected it to be, and probably one of the closer fights in Kanako's whole career, actually, aside from I guess the Nakai one. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty easy 3-2 for her. So yeah, I mean, I guess so, Jimmy. They should have all agreed, but
fucking
whatever.
Kansas City.
They're terrible. They're fucking terrible.
As Julian DeCourcy's manager says, Kansas gonna Kansas.
Fucking A, aren't they? Oh, but all right, you guys, that was UFC Vegas 29, and actually, it also happens to be Deep Jewel's 33 week. So just to look through it a little bit, specifically at the tournament, the Atomweight tournament, which is concluding, and then of course the strawweight title fight between Miki Matono and
Sunday night or Sunday morning, early Sunday morning for us, Drake.
10 p.m. Eastern, it says.
Oh no, so it's 7 p.m. our time.
I feel like that's not right. I feel like
right.
I feel like Deep Jewels is always around the same time as Ryzen, maybe a little bit later because their cards aren't generally as big, right? We just got 8 here.
Yeah, that's why I think it's Sunday morning-ish for us.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's I don't think so, but we'll see. But yeah. Either way, the conclusion to the Atomweight tournament finally upon us, and man, it's been rough getting through this, hasn't it, Steve? All the change-ups to the
so many
tournament.
changes.
Murakami,
I don't even know who's fighting each other anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? Murakami was in the tournament, but she didn't even fight Hikaru Aono and Mizuki Ishiro Nisei. They fought in the first round, and what is it? They won. No, they fought each other, and Hikaru beat her, and then Hikaru was supposed to go on to take on Aya, but then she had to pull out. And then Mizuki comes back in, and now they're fighting again, even though they just fought. And Siwoo Park and Saori Oshima, both phenomenal victories in their opening round bouts. Siwoo Park, I might have got it mixed up. Either way, it's all so confusing now with how everything's changed about. But this is also a rematch between Park and Oshima, the winners of this bottom fight and this top fight. I know that this isn't the order. The order is actually going to be these are the first two because then they'll have the time for the
have to go fight
for them. Yeah, for the main event. So, yeah, we will see how that plays out. But honestly, Siwoo Park has beat them all already, and Siwoo Park and Saori Oshima are the two best fighters in the Atomweight tournament, and I think they'll have very bright futures, probably in Ryzen. Maybe Invicta. We'll see where they want to go. Siwoo Park's been training with Miyu Yamamoto and Itsuke Hirata from One Championship. So very nice team. Lately, she's been training around, aside from Sohee Ham, who she's trained with in the past, of course, Team Mad. But yeah, Oshima, also very good. Very fun first fight they had, but should be an interesting rematch. If Siwoo Park keeps it off the ground, should be fine, as she was last time. And she's just the best overall fighter in this tournament. Already knocked out Aono, which was, if you haven't seen that, check it out. Pretty impressive for Atomweights. Yeah, Siwoo Park, I think, will be the champion by the end of the night. Who it's against, it'll probably be an Aono rematch, I would predict. And then
those pound for pound rankings on Topology, those are really, that's like disrespectful.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's like saying that, just admit you don't know who these fighters are.
Yeah,
and don't rank
Park is they're these are very legit, very legit competitors. It's it does them a big injustice. Then in the main event, Motono and Seika Izawa.
I mean,
both-
look at pound for pound. Motono is fucking, what is that,
69.
369? Jesus, come on.
Yeah. And yeah, Izawa though looking very, very good in her early career, and she had a grappling match rather than an actual MMA fight at what was it, Deep Jewels 32. Took home
That was
the
last
victory there. Looked very good. Yeah, Seika, she's another person. That's right. And not to say Miki can't, continue to go places, but Seika Izawa is looking like to be very legit. So I think
She's going to be 3-0
yeah,
and be a champion.
yeah, good for her. Good for her. So Deep Jewels is the Japanese
Possibly.
Invicta, Steve. We know.
Possibly.
Yeah, exactly. And Nabe and Mika Arai, that is an interesting flyweight bout as well. It's always fun. Takabayashi, I'm very excited to see her back because even though she lost pretty quickly to Sakura at Ryzen 26 on New Year's Eve, they look so good. They both look so good for being 17. So I'm excited to see Takabayashi back. Yeah, Deep Jewels, you guys. Looking forward to it.
So John snaps? Fucking hilarious.
He doesn't snap.
Brand said the worst rankings actually are the Bellator rankings. Just remember they put Laredo over Porto, and then he goes on to say, just don't mention it to John because he snaps and gets mad. Does he really? Does he get mad?
He gets a little snippy. Yeah, I would say irritated. He gets mad. Yeah,
he gets irritated by the fact that people keep bringing up the Bellator rankings.
Right. Hey man, shouldn't have joined him.
Like I said, I don't see why any journalist, any kind of journalist, MMA journalist would want to do that.
Free extra work, yeah.
I don't.
Voluntary.
Yeah,
I don't have time for that.
I'm good.
For how serious that is too. Like, I love doing rankings.
I wouldn't want my name attached to those shenanigans.
Well, geez, especially how silly they are now. I mean, goodness.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, definitely. But
I would not want to do that. I wouldn't want any part of that bullshit.
No. But yeah, these are definitely some silly pound for pound nonsense here. But either way,
that's just like admitting you don't know who the hell these girls are.
Yeah. Deep Jewels 33, very, very fun. Always love some action there.
He blew up.
You can see it for yourself. So,
when was that? How long ago was that?
Is that the one that when I was on with him, Rain? Is that the one you're speaking of? Because I was there for one time, one time that you guys brought it up to him, and yeah, he also kind of clapped back at the Kano Watanabe army. How dare he? How dare
Did he really?
A little bit. He just doesn't like fun. It was when Shingo was there, so I was there. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. That was fun. Yep. So, anyway, Deep Jewels 33 happening Saturday night, Sunday morning ish. I really don't think it's at 7 our time. I really don't. But let's see. And you can watch it on
shit list.
Yeah, he is. You can watch the event at their website, I believe. And I don't know if Chuck's still here. He always knows where to find it. But yeah, definitely check that out if you're interested in the Atomweights.
YouTube. They're on YouTube.
They get uploaded on YouTube, but they aren't live on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. I always watch it after the fact.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I know they don't make it very easy for English speakers to find the live stream.
So speaking of that, did you see Combate? Campbell McLaren said that they have a deal apparently, English speaking announcers or broadcast. I mean, so that's fucking amazing for them. I don't have a problem with it, but
either way, yeah.
I mean, yeah, either way. even if I didn't understand Spanish. I wouldn't have a problem watching. I mean, shit. We watch KSW.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they have English though.
That's true. They do have English.
But I mean,
who doesn't have English?
I don't know. Most people do these days.
No, I guess it was ACA.
Oh yeah, and even they used to have Frank Mir on there, right?
Yeah,
used to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, to me, it's stupid that everybody doesn't have English speaking.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, KSW's. I don't really like their commentary. I think Chris, whatever his name is fine, but that other guy is just so over the fucking top, dude. I can't stand him. But yeah. So that's that. And Rue says he was creeping through my Instagram, and Whaley really liked the story. Yes, she did. I know. She even she stuck around, and I don't think she followed me back, but she checked out my stuff a little bit and commented on Fedor's loss to Ryan Bader. If you go check out my post from that, she was like, "Man, it's really sad to see this happen to Fedor." So it's kind of funny to get those comments from her without asking for them.
MMA fan.
Yeah, exactly. And she named her dog after Fedor, right? So she's a big Fedor fan. She was. Yeah, and she posted about that. She even reshared it. I mean, Rue, if you look through her Instagram as well. Yeah, stalker. No, I'm just kidding. All right. We've come to the end, you guys. But yeah, the whole kind of Watanabe Army. It's on JHK's shit list, I know. But keep it going, you guys. That's the fun of it, right?
We're on the bad side.
Yeah, and don't forget to submit. Let me check my email inbox. I got nothing yet, you guys. This is not good. I'm feeling ashamed of you. You're not doing yourself a good service here. Flood the inbox. Need some questions from the fans, right? So, all right. Yusuf, take
You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Dude, Yusuf's troll fucking game against me. You motherfucker, Yusuf. Like, this whole week, this whole week, Nate Diaz thing, this whole week, and then now this shit.
Well played, sir. Well,
I like that. I like that.
He knows what time it is. Waves Kana banner. Confrontationally, Stamina does. That's good. That is very good. Yeah, that's why there aren't any questions coming in yet. All right, you guys. We are at the end, though. Don't forget.
They're like, dude, we're here. What
I know.
do you want from us here?
I know. Follow us, like, share, and subscribe at Drake Riggs _ at Steve K _ MMA at the Scrap News. You know by this point where to find us, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell, yada yada yada. You know how it goes. Steve, anything coming?
No.
Nope.
Dude,
all
I'm
right.
literally sick still.
He's still sick. That is right. So as for me, got plenty of things lined up. As I've already mentioned, Ramona tomorrow, Kana on Wednesday, have some other ones as well that we'll keep secret so they don't jinx those ones. If I jinx these, then I'll feel bad. But got stuff coming and still getting ready to drop the just waiting actually on Mr. Atkin over at SCMP MMA, Nick, to release the Marina Rodriguez conversation, the Diana Evserigova conversation, and Ayaka Mura. Those are all just waiting to see the light of day, hopefully tonight when he wakes up, if he's awake yet, which he should be. But you know how Nick is. You know how he is. He's just doing his thing. But yeah, got those coming, and then the rest. So stay tuned. As always, you guys, appreciate if you checked in on any of the coverage from Fight Week. We'll be back at it again next month. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, so all right, Steve, let's get out of here. Take it away.
So, guys, thanks for the show. Without you guys, none of this is possible. You motherfucker, you said. But really, though, without you guys, Drake and I would just be talking to each other, and that's not really fun. So thank you to everybody.
Yeah, we hate talking to each other.
Thank you for coming out on a weekly basis. We really do appreciate all of your comments. Brings joy to us. Makoto, James, Stamina, Yusuf, I guess, WMA Scene now, Chuck, Head Kick Audio, Steve was here earlier,
Right.
Jimmy, Alvin, Rain, Rue.
Yeah, we got the whole squad for the most part.
Yeah, I think I got everybody. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. And to everybody who doesn't,
Suki, our new friend.
oh yes, yes. I don't know you, but thank you for Ghost Phantom as well. Our new friend. We like new friends. But yes, thank you for coming out every week. We enjoy it. Have a great week, guys. See you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Peace.